huge move not too long ago. Clark's did a fantastic job. I mean, really fantastic. They moved all my stuff from my Ventnor place on the shore out to the mainland in EHT. Clark's Moving and Storage, they took care of it all from start to finish. Trust their moving company with the finest in storage and moving services. They're one of the largest companies in the area, and you can trust them. Believe me, they got it all done, moved everything, not a scratch, not a dent, not anything. On time, professional. They really did it all. I felt very comfortable and very confident in their team at Clark's Moving and Storage every step of the way. So do what I did and use Clark's Moving for your big move. Call them today, 609-889-0780, or visit them at clarksmoving.net. Clark's Moving is an authorized agent for Wheaton Worldwide Moving, so they can move you across the country or even around the world.
This is South Jersey's radio home for the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers. WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's sports leader.
The opinions expressed are not those of Town Square Media or station advertisers.
Finally!
This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity. Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
Josh Hennig broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors. We are back here a couple weeks after 4th of July weekend. We are here for Night in Venice weekend, and we are here thanks to Dave Jr. and all the staff here at Boulevard Super Liquors, as well as Bird Gang Spirits. We are giving away a signed Jalen Hurts jersey, as well as Hollis Thomas, the one and only Tank, is on his way down here to meet people, hang out with us for Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESP. We got a busy show to get to. Gentlemen, first, before we get to the particulars, we got Dave Jr. back with us, as well as Mike Carlin here on location. Let me scoot down. Dave, you can scoot down a little bit for the people on the video. Mike, if you can get in picture there. Dave Jr., how you doing, man?
Good, my man. Good. Super Bowl #2 for us this summer. It's just July 4th, Night in Venice.
I was actually telling you guys, it actually took me longer to get here than it did 4th of July weekend.
Yeah. The island's nuts. I think you get more people at the shore total all over the 4th, and they take some more vacation. But this just turns into how many people can we stack on the island and get over to the water.
Oh, I think it's funny is that this is the perfect day for Mike Carlin to be here because LeBron James gifted us coming to the 76ers, and the wheelhouse for Mike Carlin is basketball. So you got a football dork like me, you got a basketball guy like Mike Carlin. It's like the perfect day for us to be here at Boulevard Super Liquors.
It's like LeBron knew he's coming to Philly. He's got Night in Venice. Maybe he'll be in town.
Christmas in July.
That's it, baby. We're here. I think my father's got a Santa Claus shirt on. So I had one on earlier, then I put on a sweatshirt to get in a beer box. Now I got Bird Gang on. So we're hitting it all.
So what we're going to do is also people listening on the radio and watching on the YouTube stream at Josh Hennig, 609-403-0973 is the text board. What does LeBron James coming to the Sixers mean to you? So we'll start with you, Dave. What does LeBron what does it mean in your sports environment?
He's a generational player. I know he's a guy that, different than Michael Jordan, where everybody kind of loved him for how competitive he was. LeBron's got some people that don't love him as much, but I think regardless of how you feel about him, what he's been doing in the league now for 20 some years has just been incredible. So when you have that kind of a talent and that type of a gravitational force that comes to the team, I think it's just going to make Sixers basketball exciting. It's going to be most of those games are going to be must watch TV when they're playing. Hopefully the load management for him and Joel isn't painful to watch, but that's I think it's, there's a lot of people talking about going to games and wanting to go see games that I don't think we're going as often.
Right. Mike?
Hard ticket's going to be right now, Josh. If you don't have tickets, you're in trouble. Okay. But getting back to LeBron doesn't just make the team better. Believe it or not, he makes the city better.
Yeah.
What he's going to bring, what he brought to Cleveland when he came back, my son being with Cleveland, he said, Dad, the bars, the restaurants, anything you can think about, Ubers, people that work for a living are making money now because LeBron's in Philadelphia. And what he does for the team, remember, there's not a teammate out there that he's had that didn't say, I would do anything for the guy. He's a coach on the floor. He's a coach at practice. He's a coach on the plane. younger guys that sit next to and just pick off his brain.
Yep.
He makes everybody better on the court. That's the most important thing. Okay. And remember, he's not, I grew up a Michael Jordan fan. I changed over 3-4 years ago. I thought LeBron, to me, is the best of all time for what he's done over the years. Okay. This is not Michael Jordan going to the Washington Wizards at the end of his career.
Right.
You're talking about a guy that just last year, the month of February, was the player of the month for the whole NBA. He's still 20-10 every night. Okay. And they don't even talk about it, his passing. He makes the team better.
See, I think that's the real reason why he's here. And we'll play some audio a little bit later in the show from different people.
Yeah.
But LeBron's not coming here to be the number one scorer or the number two scorer.
No.
Because he said in his own statement, he looked at Philadelphia as he's in a position to help them win a championship.
Right.
I don't think he's coming here to be the focus. I think he's coming here to be, for lack of a better term, a triple-double machine. Right, Mike?
Listen, he made it very clear this was not a family decision. Family decision would have been, I go to Golden State, I'm home in my bed every night with a private plane.
Yeah.
Okay? He's here to play 2 years, which I think is one. It's a player option the second year. But all he wants to do is win. But here's my question to you. If I asked you who's the leader of the team right now, who's the face of the team moving forward as of today?
Yeah.
Who would you say?
Maxey.
That's a good question.
Well, here's why I say Maxey.
No.
Okay,
hold
go ahead.
on.
The face of the team?
Yeah.
I think it was Embiid. I think it's after last season it moved over toward Maxey.
I think you're both wrong. Yeah, and that's okay. Why is he here? Do you think he came from Maxey?
Yes, because
No,
Max. So 2 reasons why Maxey's a clutch client.
Hold on.
Okay.
Philly wasn't even in the conversation until they got Brown.
That's
He's
true.
here because of Brown. This is Brown's team moving forward.
Okay.
In my opinion.
It's true that, and there's a lot of reporting out there. We'll have NBA Insider Scoop B on around 2:00 today. There's a lot of reporting that when the Jalen Brown move happened, that's when the Sixers got on LeBron's radar. That is true. But I don't think he came here. I don't think he chose Sixers over Cleveland, Miami, Golden State, Minnesota, and everywhere else because just of Jalen Brown. Like I said, Maxey's a clutch client. He's known Maxey since high school. They work out together in the summers. So there's a familiarity there. He played Team USA with Joel Embiid. There's a lot of reporting out there that basically LeBron was calling Embiid and Maxey all week, picking their brain, asking them questions. You know who else is a clutch client? Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is also represented by LeBron's best friend, Rich Paul. And don't forget, LeBron played high school basketball and the McDonald's All-American game against Mike Yancey.
With part of the Sixers.
And then Mike Yancey was in Cleveland when LeBron won a championship. So I agree that Jalen Brown put the Sixers in LeBron's orbit, but I think there were so many other random factors. Oh, and don't forget, Rich Paul's mentor is Bob Myers. I am guarantee you LeBron's not coming here if Bob Myers and Mike Yancey are in the front office. And Mike, you may disagree with me, but if Daryl Morey was still here, LeBron ain't here.
Right. I agree to that. I agree to everything. It's just we all have our own different.
Yeah.
I just don't think he was even in the operation of talking coming here until Brown came.
I think
Once
you're
Brown
right,
came, he said that now I can win with this team.
Yep.
I can't come to Philly and win with just Maxey
Yeah.
because I can't trust Embiid. Why would I do? And
That's
why would
the key. You
why
can't
am I
trust
gonna come to
Embiid.
a city that my family knows nothing about? Okay, they're pushing me to go to Miami because they said we're gonna leave LA. We don't mind Miami, or we go home to Cleveland.
Right.
Philly was never in it until he said I want to win. When did he say I want to win? As soon as they knew we had Brown.
Well, let's get to that. Dave, I want to ask you because, as someone who is a family man, right? Someone who has kids who are younger, one of LeBron's things that came out was that he went and got permission from his wife and his kids before he made this. Once the family signed off on it, then he was okay with coming to Philadelphia. When you hear that, what does that say to someone like you?
I think it makes him just a more of a likable guy, right? And I think it's hard to look at somebody who doesn't care about their kids. You see, he cares about his son a lot. It's unbelievable. He's playing on an NBA basketball court with his son. I can't imagine, if my career continued this long playing ball, if I got to play with one of my kids, how awesome and special that would be. But it is. I think it's really cool. I think it's nice that he has that type of a family, and it's close knit. And for a guy that's been one of the most famous people walking the planet for the last 20 years, right? He doesn't have those family issues. He hasn't had a lot of that stuff in the media. So I think that's one of the reasons in terms of the role model and who you want with our young guys.
Yeah.
I think I'm as excited about having him for the next 2 years as I am VJ and Maxey and some of these other guys also getting to play with him. Like you said, being a coach, being a leader on the team. I think that's going to be huge for the Sixers.
Hang with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors for Night in Venice weekend, Christmas in July, whatever you're celebrating today. Dave Bale Jr., Mike Carlin joining me on location. Don't forget, you can come on down for your chance to win a Jalen Hurts signed jersey, as well as other great prizes. Thanks to Bird Gang Spirits, of course. We're always excited. And we'll talk to Migos in a little bit as well. But, you know, LeBron coming to Philadelphia, it's such a game changer. And, you know, it's not that he's the biggest of all time to come here, but he's the biggest game changer to come here. And I was having this argument yesterday. You know, people, and Mike, maybe you can, you know, chime in on this, maybe more than somebody else can. And then, David, you can jump in. My mind always goes back to the Sixers, first when Dr. J came from the ABA, and then when Moses came to the Eastern Conference. Those were such, like, sports-shattering moments that, like, Dr. J at the time was, like, if not the biggest, one of the biggest stars in basketball.
He was God.
Okay. And he came to Philadelphia, right? And then when Moses, fee, fi, fo, fum, Moses Malone, the league MVP, multiple time league MVP, says, I'm going to leave Houston. Remember, he went to the finals with Houston. Yeah. And then he says, you know, in my prime, I'm going to Philadelphia. To me, that's where it's like, I'm not belittling LeBron coming to Philadelphia, but like LeBron's not in his prime. When Dr. J and Moses Malone picked Philadelphia, they were in their prime. So to me, and Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like LeBron is more of like an optics changer more than I'm getting the best player in the league changer.
I'm going to disagree with you.
That's fine.
I'm sorry. You just got, if he's not the best player, is he top 10? Would you say? I mean, what would we say?
I guess
he's the
top
all-time leading scorer, assist, all these things. He's coming to your team, and again, he's coming where he could start on any team in the NBA.
Sure,
any team. He could walk right on and start. He makes everybody better. To my mind, this is the best signing. This is bigger, and I love Dr. J. This is bigger for me. Okay, for what you really have a true chance to do moving forward with this team. It's him. And again, it will come down to one other player, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid plays, we're extremely good. If he doesn't play, we're good. It's good, extremely good. And that's the difference between winning the championship and just making the playoffs.
Dave?
I think the signing is as big as those guys. I think it might be a little bigger than Harper. It might be a little bigger than some of the other guys in terms of profile. It's a culture changer. And I think that's what adds to the magnitude of it. It's not just how good is the team going to be. It's a complete change of the culture, the organization, and even like Mike said, the city. I think with him here, his IQ is so high that if Joel's not in the game, he can change what his role is in the game, right? He can change what his role is when he plays. And if Joel's in the game, he can then change it again if Maxey's having an off night. But you have 5 guys that average, I heard it yesterday, 28, 27, 20, and 16.
And there's
right?
one ball, Dave.
And there's only one ball. So, like, there's going to be the need for guys to step back. And if one guy's hot one night, feed the hot hand. I played. That's how it works at times. But getting those guys learn to play together, he's one of the guys that I think can do it. But I think it's going to be fun to watch.
And I also think if I'm on the coaching staff, LeBron, I don't need you playing every night. Joel Embiid, I don't need you playing every night. Okay, you got back spasm and you need a week off. Take the week off. You know, even when you don't have back, there's going to be time. Let's just get us to the playoffs and make sure that by the time April 1st comes around, we are the true.
I'm not sure the fans buying tickets and the city is going to be behind you on that philosophy.
But if you want to win a championship,
people going to these games are going to be ready for that.
I don't want him to be playing every day in October, November, December, and then he gets hurt.
Of course.
But really quick, I think part of the reason why you can say that as well, Mike, is because of the rest of the roster. You do still have Maxey and VJ. You have guys like Wade and Simons coming off the bench. the reports are they're going to sign Contavious Caldwell-Pope. He's going to come and join LeBron for the third time in his
Their
career.
phones are going to be ringing off the hook with free agents and guys that
Right.
have
But
1 year left and they're not happy. Like,
What happened with the Eagles?
can you
Guys
get me the
years
Sixers?
ago started
Can you get me
coming to the
Sixers?
Eagles.
Right. My point is that, like, you have the luxury to do that because you have other bodies. If LeBron, just to use an example, if he would have went to Golden State, they would have needed him to play every day, pretty much. If he would have gone to certain other places, they would have needed him to play all the time. So it's one of those deals where it's like, if you're LeBron, you partly chose to Philadelphia because of what you just said, Mike. I don't have to be 110% every night.
His role on that team is different than other places, and he still wants to work hard. He still does, but I think he also realizes there are limitations to, it's unbelievable what he does with his health and his body and how he stays playing at that age. He's a few years older than me, and I can't imagine going out and playing them. I mean, I run around with my son and he kicked
I don't know if you
my
saw
butt.
the one workout that he's doing. So he's balancing on one of those, like, those Bosu balls, and he's doing shoulder presses while balancing on the ball. And I'm like I could do shoulder presses or I could balance on the ball. I can't do both. That's absolutely insane. And by the way, he's way taller than me. Okay. So you're not just talking about a man doing it. You're talking about a man who's almost 6'9", balancing on a ball.
But what he's going to bring, going back to not just the team, to the city of Philadelphia, they're changing their marketing plan right now. They've been up all day, thinking, how are we changing everything for what he's going to do to the city? And then more importantly, other than Joe Embiid, we're really a young team.
Yes.
Okay? To have him at practice, off the side, one-on-one, on the airplane, going to a away game, it's not just on the court what he's going to bring to this team. And he's also going to bring, there's been fooling around. Okay, I'm not at practices, games, I don't know. But he is very strict. He's got a little Jordan in that if he sees something that he doesn't like, he'll get right in your face.
Well, that's what I was going to ask
that's
you.
That's not what we do.
I was going to ask you, Mike, you're someone who's, done coaching at the high school level. When you look at Nick Nurse, is there a part of Nick Nurse that is like relieved right now? And I hate saying it that way, but you know what I'm going to say. You know it. I see look at your face. Dave, it's like there's a part of you that's like, if they're not listening to me, they'll listen to him, right?
Yeah.
Makes your job easier.
And Nick's
you have a good leader on a team, it makes your job as a coach a hell of a lot easier.
You
And when you don't have a good leader, you're looking for one as a coach. You're looking for somebody to step up that these guys are going to follow because it makes your life easier.
Every good coach after a game, what do you always hear? I have a player on the court. It's usually his point guard. Okay, well, guess what? His point guard is now LeBron.
He's point LeBron.
He's 5 different positions.
Yeah, he can play.
But he'll do everything that needs to be done for this team to move on to the next level. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is to what you said, Mike, this is a young team.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's going to walk in and, VJ Edgecombe's going to pick his brain, right? Maxey, instead of just working out with him in the summer, Maxey's going to be with him in the regular season. Yeah. You look at the guys coming off the bench, or Jalen Brown. LeBron thought that Jalen Brown should have won league MVP. So now Jalen Brown goes from a team where he was completely disrespected to now he's got the guy who said he should have won MVP joining him in Philadelphia. That's why I don't believe in this whole, I don't know if you guys have heard it, but, what's Jalen Brown going to do? How is he going to feel about this? I think Jalen Brown's excited. I think
he knows LeBron's coming. Listen, if I'm Brown, I'm thinking, I know deep down inside he's here because
of me.
It's how much he likes me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's going to make him and the team. And we never talk about this. The G League that they have when those players come up and they're helping them at practice. He imagines having, I got 20 minutes with LeBron one-on-one off to the side.
Yeah.
Again, he makes everybody better.
I think he also makes the optics of the organization better because, as I said before, LeBron's not here if Daryl Morey's here. And whether people like Daryl Morey or not, the reality is that there was a cloud hanging over his head of negativity, because he didn't have the pedigree. He didn't have the success. He didn't have the prerequisites. So if I'm Philadelphia, getting LeBron was more than just trying to win a championship. Getting LeBron as a clear signal to the rest of the league. We didn't just change the man in charge of basketball. We didn't just change the people in the front office. We changed the entire culture of top, bottom, the organization.
Yeah, I think it mimics what the Birds and the Phils have done, right? Like as much as obviously the Eagles were lucky to have them win a couple Super Bowls recently and be in a third, which they should have won. But we won't get into that. But even with the Phillies, I was talking to somebody yesterday, as much as it's frustrating to see those guys go to the playoffs and the bats go cold and we lose games, they put a product on the field and they put players on the field that are fun to watch. You just want to put it on. You want to go to the games. You like these guys. And as a fan, for a while you forget it, but I'm now remembering it, that alone is a blessing. I got buddies that are Browns fans, Jets fans, and no offense to anybody listening on those guys, but it's hard to put on a Jets game on a Sunday and tell me you honestly feel really good about what that season's going to look like.
So true.
Right? So with the Eagles and the Phillies, they have structured the organization well. They've maybe they've made some bad decisions here and there, and guys like Turner and Harper have had cold bats and gone through struggles. But I think still it's a product you put on the field. They're in the conversation to be a playoff team or better every year, right? Championships are the goal every year. And so now the Sixers, I think, even with Jaylen Brown before this, put themselves there. But now you've jumped all the way up to being one of the top franchises in the league that not only do other players want to come play for, the fans want to get there. It's just know I think LeBron at times can have some ears that hear everything. So maybe we go easy on them as the offense figures itself out.
Before we let you go, Dave, I did want to touch on you with the Eagles. We are counting down the days, the Eagles for the training camp. We got Bird Gang Spirits here. We're giving away a Jalen Hurts signed jersey. Folks can come in, sign up for the win that jersey, along with other great prizes, thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. Hollis Thomas will be here soon. He's stuck in traffic with half of the rest of America right now here in South Jersey. Eagles, 2026. How you feeling now that it's really here?
I'm feeling good. I think there's going to be some changes. Nick still staying really hands-on with the offense is, not the most exciting thing for me. I think he was a little too hands-on the last couple of years, but at the same time, they didn't make the changes they needed to make mid-season on some of the stuff that was going on with, I think it was Kevin, but I'm excited. They have the talent, they have the right leadership, you have the skill position guys. It's interesting what the new wide receiver core will do. What this new offense looks like is going to determine whether they're going to be, in that conversation at the top of the league, or if they're going to be a good playoff team. I think that's where it spreads. We're going to be a playoff team, or we're going to be NFC Championship or better. So I think that's where we're sitting right now.
Is there is it fair to say, Dave? We always talk about Dallas, but they're always in the back of our head saying, it's like Stephen A says, eventually something falls apart and they're not in it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way this year, Frank? Because there seems to be a lot of people talking big time about Dallas, that if they finally put it together, this is the year. Or do we just not worry about Dallas?
I think I always feel like this time of year, this is when Dallas, this is when they shine. They're the best team in football preseason. So like for me, like I always have to remind myself, oh yeah, but we've watched it the last X amount of years that like even the year we didn't make it, they lost in the wild card game or whoever it was. Like, I think the conference should still be ours. I think even if we split with each team, right, we still have a pretty good record at the end of the season, and that's what we look at. You're gonna lose games to your conference opponents. Like they're just they're dogfights in the trenches. Those game stuff goes goofy. You're on a holiday. You're on this. It's short trap. Whatever it is, you're gonna lose a couple of those games. So if we go 4-2 in the conference, great. Do I think there's a monster threat from Dallas in terms of getting to an NFC Championship and all that? I mean, if they start playing well, it could be. If our offense looks terrible, I mean, we can lose to anybody. Mm-hmm. We've seen that where we've gone out and laid an egg and lost to terrible teams. But I think their energy should all be focused inward on getting this new OC going, getting this offense restructured, hopefully getting Jalen Hurts throwing the ball a little differently than he has been and not just outside, and we'll be in great shape.
The offensive line. For me, it's all about the offensive line. Well, listen, this is great. We're at Boulevard Super Liquors. If you're listening, come on down. You got Hollis Thomas going to be stepping in pretty soon. We're raffling off stuff. Bird Gang's here. A lot of different specials going on. There, I think the big man's coming in right now.
There he is. The one and only Hollis Thomas just walked into Boulevard Super Liquors here. Of course, we're Roosevelt Boulevard, the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge. Dave, appreciate you spending the first segment with us again.
Thank you guys for being here again. Really appreciate it. Always fun.
Absolutely. Of course, hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors on 97.3 ESPN. Of course, don't forget, you can come on down. You can win a signed Jalen Hurts jersey. Hollis Thomas here to take pictures, say hello to people, sign people's bottles of Bird Gang Spirits. And we have other prize giveaways, but all because of Bird Gang Spirit. That's why we are here at Boulevard Super Liquors. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Of course, coming up, We will still have a chance to talk with Fairleigh Dickinson women's basketball coach Stephanie Gaitley, as well as NBA insider Brandon Scoopy Robinson at 2 o'clock. And don't forget the Ivy Rehab injury report coming up at 1:25 p.m. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, being brought to you by Cross County Connection, presenting 6 new SJ Connect shuttles, providing fare free transportation across southern New Jersey, connecting the jobs, colleges, healthcare, shopping, government services, and NJ Transit hubs, all at no cost to riders. For details, call 856-229-7571 or visit driveless.com. Josh Hennig hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors, also streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Back with more coming up next.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio. It's an interleague primetime showdown.
God, home run! Ben Rice, a 2-run shot.
Ben Rice leads the New York Yankees into Philadelphia to go head-to-head with Kyle Schwarber and the Phillies.
Out of here! Kyle Schwarber, and this place is going bananas.
The Yankees and Phillies on Sunday Night Baseball.
It's Phillies baseball on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 6:30.
Whether you are stocking up for a summer party, a day at the beach, or that golden hour dinner at your favorite BYOB restaurant, your one-stop shopping destination, where I go for every occasion, is Boulevard Super Liquors. At the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge, Boulevard Super Liquors has the best selection of craft beer, whiskey, vodka, wines, and tequila in all of South Jersey. Plus, they are minutes from Garden State Parkway, exit 25, so you can easily stop into Boulevard Super Liquors on your travels all around South Jersey. Family owned and operated for 4 generations, Boulevard Super Liquors also has the largest temperature-controlled wine room in New Jersey, offering you the best selection of wines for your next dinner date or social outing. These are just some of the reasons why Boulevard Super Liquors is my go-to. On Roosevelt Boulevard, at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge, the best selection of beer and spirits in South Jersey.
Making your home look brand new is what Work of Art Construction can do for you. Ready to remodel your bathroom or have a kitchen makeover? Art Masker has 40 years of experience in construction and knows how to make your home look like a work of art. Want to install a new back deck or invest in a new front door? Just call Art Masker at 609-788-4271 to learn more. Visit Work of Art Construction on Instagram to see how Work of Art Construction can make your home look brand new. Beautify your home with Work of Art. Call him at 609-788-4271 and let them make your home truly a work of art.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Getting ready to hit the water? Stop by Hands 2 Bait and Tackle, located just before the Cape May Bridge. Hands 2 Bait and Tackle is your one-stop shop for fishing and crabbing. From fresh bait like clams, bunker, and minnows to rods, reels, and apparel, they've got everything you need. Not sure what's biting? The Hands 2 crew will point you in the right direction with the latest local reports and expert advice. Whether you're chasing stripers or crabbing with the family, stop in or call 609-884-BAIT. BAIT.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
In celebration of America's 250th, we the people of Matt Black Kia in Egg Harbor Township make this declaration. All Americans have the right to a new car at a low monthly payment. Revolutionary 27 Kia Telluride LX, just $259 per month during the Freedom to Save event.
Matt Black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, at mattblackkia.com.
It's got to be a Matt Black Kia.
24-month leases, $59.99 to inside. Call 888-506-4132 for details. Offers don't combine, expires month end.
When it comes to injuries, you can't afford to get it wrong. Insurance companies, they delay, deny, and pay as little as possible. Who's on your side? The law offices of Craig A. Altman. Car accidents, slip and falls, serious workplace injuries. They build cases to put real pressure on the other side. And you pay nothing unless they win. Don't guess, don't wing it. Call 856-327-8899 or visit CraigAltmanLaw.com. Local office in Vineland, backed by a Philly firm that knows how to win.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig back here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors. We are here hanging out with you. Of course, the one and only Hollis Thomas is here, signing autographs, meeting people. People can also sign up to win a Jalen Hurts signed jersey along with other great prizes thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. Of course, we'll check out the text board a little bit later this hour, 609-403-0973, because, you know, some guy named LeBron signed with the 76ers. Yeah. I don't know if people have heard of him or not. But kind of sticking with the basketball theme, though, we do have South Jersey's own, of course, now at Fairleigh Dickinson, women's basketball coach Steph Gaitley. Steph, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing good, and it's just funny that LeBron signed just in time for us to celebrate Christmas in July, right? You know, just very convenient.
Oh my God, I was thinking about it. Was like, I don't know, 20 or some years ago. I remember somebody said we saw LeBron on the Ocean City Boardwalk, and it's weird now to think that in a total circle, it's come back to him being in Philly.
You know, I wanted to ask you because I was thinking about this last night. Because family is such a big part of your life as well. When you heard that LeBron had to get permission from his family, he went to his wife, he went to his 11 to soon be 12-year-old daughter, he went to both, and he asked them, how do you feel about this? Like, he waited until his family gave him their blessing before he made, like, what does that say to you?
That says he's got his life in order. Happy wife, happy life. Fortunately.
Well, that's why he moved to LA, right?
Yeah, right.
His wife wanted to live in LA.
Yeah.
So, I get, is it maybe, I'm not married, so I can't speak to it. Is it maybe something where the wife is like, hey, you gave me what I want?
Yeah, it's true. And Bronny's older. The boys are older. His one younger daughter. And I just know having a family of 3 boys that are in the business, it's just, there's a lot of sacrifices that are made, and you have to make sure you're all on the same page.
Speaking of that, you have one of your sons with you here right now.
I got DC here, and back in 8th grade, I was looking at another job, and I'll never forget the story for the rest of my life. I was looking at a job that was a really good job, but it was out in the Midwest, and and I really didn't want it, but I knew if I got offered, I had to take it, and I was praying not to get it. And I remember DC came back from an AAU trip. He goes, "Mom, I really don't want to go there," and I'm like, and then in the middle of the night, he came in and goes, "Mom, I've thought about it. If you go, I'll go." And I said, "Oh, honey, that means the world to me because you're more important than any friend I have, Mom." And I thought that was the cutest thing ever.
Do you remember this?
I do remember it. That's why I'm still the favorite son.
Okay. Gotcha.
I like it.
So you let everybody know what are you up to nowadays? I know you've had a lot of different basketball jobs over the years.
Yeah, so I was working for the Heat for 3 years, was out of basketball for two plus years, and then this past year was my first year at Chestnut Hill College, Division II school in Philly. So I got out for a little bit, but I had to come back. I guess the whole family's got the itch, so I definitely wanted to get back and get involved with basketball. So
that's a cool thing, though. And Coach Steph, I'll get to you about this in a minute, but now in today's world with everybody transferring and a lot of times people are now going to like D2 schools so they can kind of build up their resume to go to the next level. I know there's one guy, so a buddy of mine went to high school. His son was actually at a D3 school, Hennig played this past year at Missouri State, and then he got an opportunity to play on the New York Knicks G League team this year, Keith Palick III. And, to me, I think it's very important that, like, people, 30 years ago, it was like, D2, D3. But now it's like D2, D3 is like, that's the stepping stone now to get where you really want to go, right?
Yeah, totally. I think nowadays is people, if you can play, people will find you. So no matter where you start, I know in this draft class, there was a couple D3 guys that were actually drafted.
Yep.
So I think it's a matter of finding the right fit, the right opportunity. Once you get there, kind of making the most of it. And you will have opportunities. If you can play, again, that people will find you.
And Coach Steph, you can speak to that as well, because, one of the cool things you mentioned, they'll find you, right? And I think that one of the things that you've done a great job at is coming back down to the area. You have your upcoming camp as well, where you kind of almost have these built-in opportunities to find high school athletes and get them the opportunity to go to the next level.
Yeah, and I feel bad because the high school athlete has really been affected by the portal and by this new 5-for-5 rule. And to be honest, like we have one scholarship for next year and we might not even have that if one of our seniors decides to come back. And then we lost a lot to the portal because what you just said to DC is like, these kids can go now, they can go to FDU, have great success and then move on to the next level of conference. And it really hit us hard. So we had to regroup, but I'm excited. We just finished up our summer school session this past week, and I'm really excited about the youth that we have. We have 9 new kids, which is a lot. So we just have to figure it out. But, I think our journey is going to be a fun one. It's aggressive. We're at Baylor, we're at Texas, we're at LSU, we're at Ohio State. We're taking on some big ones, but, at the end of the day, I think that type of experience helped us when we played Iowa really tight in the first round game and became almost the first 15 seed to ever knock off a 2 seed.
Speak to that for a minute, because I think people, when they, on the surface, it's like, oh, it's cool that Fairleigh Dickinson is playing these bigger schools, but kind of give the audience a little insight about, because to me, I've always looked at it as it's more than just playing a bigger school. It's the fact that you're getting a level of experience that you're probably not going to get in another scenario, right?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it a couple ways. One, obviously, they're money games, so we'll get the money. So now that's a way I can use to help pay some of my players. And then the other thing is, like, if we had an experience playing at UConn or playing at Rutgers or playing at these other schools and played in front of 16,000 people, when we played against Iowa, I think we would have been shell-shocked, and I think it would have been a different score, But here we are down 2 with 4 minutes to go. But I think that's attributed to the fact that we had a very experienced group by the end of the year, and it was a group that had experienced those tough games early and responded well to them.
Talking with Coach Steph Gaitley from Fairleigh Dickinson, along with her son DC here at Boulevard Super Liquors at the Philly Ocean City 34th Street Bridge. We are here for, of course, Christmas in July, Night in Venice. We got the one and only Hollis Thomas here with Bird Gang Spirits. Of course, your opportunity to get a signed Jalen Hurts jersey to win, as well as other great prizes thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. You mentioned about how, you have to almost get creative sometimes when it comes to basketball. And DC, I think you could speak to this as well, where it's like, it doesn't matter what level you're at, whether it's the pros, whether it's college or whatever, it's not always as straightforward where it's like this person does this job or this person. Like, there's a lot of overlap, right, when it comes to trying to figure out how to maximize everything for the people who are actually playing the game, right?
Totally. I think that's the name of the game is adaptability now. We know kind of where we are as a Division II school, kind of in the mid-major in a mid-major D2 conference. We know we're probably going to have a lot of roster turnover from year to year, because if we are good, we're going to lose players to Division I teams, and we know that. So we have to come in each year with the mindset that we have to evaluate the players we have. We have to put them in a position to succeed. And it's going to look different from year to year. Last year, we had a big guy who was all league for us. And so we played through him. This year, we have 2 freshman bigs, and we're going to have guards. So we got to play through guards. It's going to look totally different. So I think it's adaptability, and it's also reading your players, giving them a lot of input, and making sure they have the ownership to be able to think things through themselves, and then come to the coaching staff and say, hey, I like doing this, I like doing that. And then kind of building it up as the year goes along. We want to start day one, and we want to look back when we're in the middle of the season and see how much better we got, because we're building on a new team. And we want to really focus on getting better throughout the whole year, as opposed to just having a rigid kind of, this is the way we play. That's not going to work for us. And I don't think it's going to really work for most teams in the college, high school, and pro level at this point. So, yeah, I think it's really just being adaptable and being open and learning. And there's, a lot you can learn every year, especially with new players.
To DC's point about being adaptable, Coach Steph, for you, what is like the biggest adaptation that you've had to, maybe make in the recent years compared to what it maybe was like 5-10 years ago coaching?
I think DC hit it on the head. I mean, this will be my 40th year as a head coach, and I think including your players more in what you do, like bringing your guards in, say, all right, end the shot clock. I might want to have a high ball screen. They might say, I want to clear out, so you need to be on the same page and understand where their strength is and what they would rather do. And so I think I become a much better listener, and I think I've become a much better players coach over the years, because I think the more that you incorporate them in the decision making, and obviously it's using common sense and where you incorporate them, but it's like there's times at the end of the game I'm like, we have 3 seconds to go and we're up 3. I'll say, hey guys, man or zone, what do you want? And they're like, let's go man, coach, let's go man, stay with man. And like I like to hear, because I know that then they're taking ownership of it. So I think their input, I think, is something I value a lot more than I should have, and I do that now.
I also was thinking about this because I was watching the WNBA 3-point shooting competition last night. And, all I could think of is that, I remember when I played high school, right? Like a young lady shooting threes was like weird. Like I'm trying to be nice about it, because I remember, like, I remember I went to school with some girls and like they were actually good shooters, but like the coach would like basically like demean them if they were shooting from the outside. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And now it's like you have these women who are just like ace shooters from the outside. So like talk about like how the game itself has changed. Like we're seeing it now on the national level with the WNBA and with college basketball, but like what are the maybe the smaller things that have changed that maybe led to that?
It's funny. I was talking to somebody last night and I was saying, I remember when I played at Villanova and we actually went on the same bus with St. Joe's to a game at Providence. They laughed. They said that couldn't have happened. But yeah, like back then it was just like, even when I originally started, the uniforms were like what they were. Like we had nothing.
You can say they were trash.
Yeah, exactly. And I originally went to University of Delaware and then transferred to Villanova, and to see, it's just so exciting to see where the game is now. I'm a little heartbroken, to be honest, where we are at the college standpoint of paying player. Not that they shouldn't get something, because I do agree they should absolutely get something, but I think it's the wild, wild west right now.
Right.
And I think there's way too much control on their side. And I think that has, it's hurting our game. And I just, hopefully we can kind of bring it in and control a little bit more. But I think the growth has been in, one, I think kids are starting to play at a younger age. Like we have camp the next 2 weeks coming up at Ocean City at the high school, a day camp from K through 8th grade. And I think they're starting, like I never had camp when I was little. You never even thought of playing at that age. I think I started in 4th grade. These kids are starting at pre-K, so like you have 4-year-olds at camp. So they're starting at a younger age. And I think for the women, a big part was getting the exposure with TV and radio and people showing an interest. And obviously Caitlin Clark, took it a whole nother level with the NBA with what she was able to accomplish.
Well, before we get to the other part, you mentioned camps. Tell everybody about the camp coming up you're hosting.
We've done it. My husband and I, my sister Coco have been actively involved. This is our 34th year of doing it. So we've been doing it a long time. These guys, my kids, my 3 boys were campers at it. They were coaches at it. And it's great. I mean, we have all kinds of prizes. We have like a wheel for prizes. Like it's not just a camp, it's a family atmosphere. And we get average about 120 kids a week for 3 weeks, and it's basically the highlight of our year. But I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of the summer.
And it's hosted at is it the intermediate or the high school?
At the high school.
At the high school.
Yeah, at the high school.
So I just want to make sure we can clarify that, because I know sometimes people will, like, for example, I know so one year they actually had to have the high school all-star game at the intermediate school.
Yes, I remember that.
Because the high school was going through that remodel.
Yeah, that was the year I was the high school coach.
Yeah. So I remember I actually was calling the high school all-star game that year, but I'm sitting like halfway up the bleachers.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot different.
And shout out to Tom Williams. Tom Williams, walking up the stands to hand me stat sheets.
Yeah, it was a whole. I remember that because we played at the middle school the whole time.
Now, where did you play high school at?
I went to Episcopal Academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for you, how did that prepare you for what you're doing now then? Because obviously, going to a public school is different than a private school.
Yeah, well, so I had a legendary coach, Dan Doherty, for 3 years. At the time that I was there, he was the all-time winningest coach in Philly high school history. So seeing him coach and learning from him was incredible. And he also tutored me in math. So I think from him, I really got that It really was never about basketball with him. It was really about building connection off the court, which made me just want to play for him on the court. And then my senior year, I had Coach Craig Conlon, who was very different, but I also had a great relationship with him, who was more fiery, and we would kind of butt heads in a good way. I think some conflict is good. So I learned a lot from their coaching styles, and kind of bringing that along as I've gotten into coaching is, challenging, being able to challenge players. But in order to challenge them, you have to know them, and you have to make them know that you care about them as people and as players. And in that way, they'll kind of trust you to get to, then you can get on them a little bit, get on and play harder or whatever it may be. So I think that was a huge thing I learned from them. And I learned a lot of basketball things as well, but it was really just more about the coach-player relationship and how to get the most out of kids and putting in that extra effort off the court to actually kind of earn the right to challenge them.
You just mentioned about challenging the players, and you mentioned Caitlin Clark earlier, and she's completely transformed the perspective of women's basketball right now. But it also means you probably have a lot of young ladies who are coming up the basketball ranks who all look at her, want to be like her, right? So it's like, how do you politely challenge some of these young ladies to help them understand that you're not going to be Caitlin Clark?
Well, again, DC hit it on the head. I mean, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit a point earlier about the 3-pointers. I mean, I think the reason that she gained so much attention is she was doing things nobody had ever seen.
Right.
The range from which she was hitting. And the reality of kids is, like, I think relationships are so important. Like, a couple of our kids, we're doing Survivor today at my sister's house, and a couple of my kids on my team are coming over for it, and they're done their summer session. But it's, you have to have a real talk with them. Like, this is a level I think you can play.
Yeah.
And if you have real talk with them and you're honest with them, I think that they respect that.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you, Coach Steph, for joining us again. Fairleigh Dickinson University, that's where you're stationed at. And DC, you're over at Chestnut Hill, right?
Chestnut Hill, yeah.
Awesome. So I appreciate you guys jumping on with me today here at Boulevard Super Liquors. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, whenever you're at Boulevard Super Liquors, we like to highlight people down
Thanks,
here.
Josh.
And listen, it worked out. You were here. We're here, and then LeBron's here. So
right, exactly.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Josh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you both stopping by. Hanging with Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. And don't forget, I know Vince back there probably just lost his doggone mind. He just saw the stream just kind of glitch on me. I'm here, Vince. It's okay. We are okay. It's just apparently the side of this mouse allows you to exit the stream altogether. That's a conundrum right there. All right, we're gonna go to break here and hang with that. I'm gonna figure out why the side button kicked me out of the stream. But we are broadcasting live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig, live from Boulevard Super Liquors, where you can meet the one and only Hollis Thomas, along with win a signed Jalen Hurts jersey, along with other great prizes, thanks to Bird Gang Spirits.
The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street is Stone Harbor's most complete entertainment experience. Great food, fun, and libations, and newly remodeled for 2026. The same great owners and all your favorite menu items remain, and now we've taken things up a notch with a brand new bar, new sound system, 36 brand new 4K TVs, and more. No matter where you sit, you always have a perfect sight line to the big game, and you've got to try our mouth-watering new menu items. Start your meal with blackened scallops, homemade fried pickles, or a cheeseburger flatbread. Try our new Chicago-style dog, or the Mary Ann sandwich, a chicken cutlet, broccoli rabe, and sharp provolone on world-famous Rando's Bakery Atlantic City bread. The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill sources only the top ingredients and serves up the best quality food. Voted best wings of Stone Harbor and the Jersey Shore by Lord of the Wings. Prime rib nights Friday and Saturdays, rib nights on Sundays, and Mike the Magician Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The newly remodeled Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street in the heart of Stone Harbor. Open 11:30 a.m. till midnight, 7 days a week. Go to stoneharborbarandgrill.com or call 609-961-3534 for more.
South Jersey summers are all about sunshine, sand, and staying cool. Beat the heat with Broadleys, from fast service to emergency repairs and plumbing to keep your drains flowing smooth. Ready to upgrade your AC? Take advantage of 0% financing and utility rebates so you can have a worry-free summer. Family owned and operated since 1911. Call 609-390-3907 or visit broadleys.net today.
The name you know, the service you trust.
The greatest shopping event of the summer is here. Macy's Black Friday and July sale is back, where you'll find 40 to 60% savings on all the hottest summer fashion and more. Don't wait. Get first dibs on everything you love about Black Friday shopping, from unbeatable sales across the store to curated styles for the season at lower than low prices. Head to Macy's now for a fun-filled holiday shopping adventure smack dab in the middle of summer. It's the can't miss sale of the month. Black Friday and July at Macy's. Savings off select prices. Exclusions apply.
Hanging out at the Piccadilly, nowhere tomorrow, everyone's happy, beers keep coming, tails piled high with friends and family, spirits to the sky.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples. That was easy. Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
In celebration of America's 250th, we the people of Matt Black Kia in Egg Harbor Township make this declaration. All Americans have the right to a new car at a low monthly payment. Revolutionary 27 Kia Telluride LX, just $259 per month during the Freedom to Save event.
Matt Black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, and mattblackkia.com.
It's got to be a Matt Black Kia.
24-month leases, $59.99 due inside. Call 888-506-4132 for details. Offers don't combine, expires month end.
Filling marble and tile, transforming spaces into beautiful places.
Hey, it's Joe Kelly. Filling Marble and Tile Retail Outlet in South Jersey is a premier family-owned stone dealer and installation expert. Residences, businesses, hospitals, schools, Atlantic City casinos, and more have trusted Filling Marble for quality marble, granite, and tile. Stop by today.
Filling marble and tile, transforming spaces into beautiful places.
See them online at fillingmarble.com.
Get ready for an unforgettable summer at Ocean Casino Resort. Watch as we light up the sky with patriotic drone shows every Friday in July in celebration of America's 250th birthday. Visit theoceanac.com for more details.
Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cross County Connection presents 6 new South Jersey Connect shuttles, providing fare-free transportation across southern New Jersey. New shuttles include Violin to Camden and Route 5440 feeder shuttle, connecting residents to employment centers, colleges, healthcare campuses, retail destinations, government services, and NJ Transit hubs, all at no cost to riders. For more information, contact SJTA at 856-229-7571 or visit online at driveless.com.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
You blitz all night.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig back here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, streaming live on YouTube and X as well. We are broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors. Of course, we are here for, it's Christmas in July. It's night in Venice, Ocean City. But it's also, we're here thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. Of course, you have your chance to win a Jalen Hurts signed jersey, as well as other great prizes thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. And joining us is Bird Gang Spirits ambassador, but more importantly, he was with the Eagles for a decade.
Yes.
The one and only the Tank.
Yeah.
Hollis Thomas.
Thanks, man.
Hollis, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing spectacular. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Well, I think you got stuck in the same traffic I did.
Well, yeah. So Ted called me. Ted of Bird Gang Spirits, the official spirits of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
Come on down. I'm here for a couple of hours, signing bottles and kissing babies and slapping high fives and talking all things Philly. The cool part about being at 501 Roosevelt Boulevard at Boulevard Liquors, like I touched on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, it's like we were in that traffic. They don't tell you about the traffic part. I was literally a mile or two away from here.
Yep.
And it said like 20 minutes. I'm like, and if you're an avid driver, you know that doesn't seem right until you get into the traffic.
So you see it.
Yeah, you see it, and you understand. You find out, and you look, and you see why everybody's looking down at their phone or got their phone up like
bumper
this.
to bumper.
Yeah, bumper to bumper for nothing. Or they're doing the proverbial rubbernecking.
Right.
Looking at something that has nothing
to do with where they're going.
Exactly. So I did get stuck in that.
So someone that's lived here for 32 years.
Oh yeah.
You know what
So
you
you've been dealing with
on
that?
Saturdays?
What?
You don't leave the house, especially between 10 and like 4 o'clock.
Oh yeah. So what is
changing, and people are moving in, people are moving out.
So let me ask you this: what is the optimal time if you don't want too much traffic? What is the optimal time to travel?
September.
Well, for example, I used to live on the islands, Hollis.
Oh man!
So it's like, you would the rule was you park your car and you don't move it.
Yeah, you don't move.
You go anywhere, you walk or ride your bike. People actually rode their bikes back in the day.
Isn't that the Venice thing going on today?
Night in Venice is tonight in Ocean City. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I did. I was invited there, but then they eluded me that I couldn't drive down. I had to walk or ride a bike. So immediately I was out. What would you guys like to? I already know what you.
Well,
want to
listen,
talk about.
I want to ask you this because we've been talking about it throughout the show. Before we get to the Eagles stuff, as someone who's not originally from the area,
right?
Okay, LeBron James is coming to Philadelphia.
Yeah, so
I want to know from you, as someone who's not from the area, who came to the area.
Well,
what was that experience like?
Well, the part of not being from the area and coming to the area. When I got here, that was the first year that they drafted AI.
Mm-hmm.
That was my rookie season. But growing up, I used to always love Dr. J. And I got to meet him. I had to meet him a bunch of times and stuff because he's a cool guy and he's cool as he looks. The doctor is. But then watching him and Moses Malone do the 4-4-4, and I was only 9 at the time.
He's laughing because I mentioned that earlier.
But yeah, it was like 4-4-4, but they did go 5-1 of the series.
Yep.
So it didn't turn into 4-4-4, but he was a man of his word. Moses Malone. I used to hang with this kid down in Houston, Junior. But it's like the cool part about being, coming to play for Philly. You kind of get I guess you turn into family when you have like all the sports and stuff. Because I used to go watch baseball. I remember when the Veterans Stadium. If you heard me on WIP, you heard me talk about the proverbial box before everything became newfangled.
Yeah.
And before everything became at your fingertip, we had to use periodicals, magazines. That's what we had to use magazines. So we shared that box. The last All-Star game was that we had in Philadelphia was actually my rookie year.
Yep.
And I was at Veterans Stadium. We had Ricky Bowe was our only representative. So
yes.
And so but I was saying that all to say is you start becoming like family with the other sports and stuff. And I used to watch AI go through what he went through as far as like trying to get there. I just wonder why we wait until the superstars really old. That's my only gripe. It's like when we got Chris Webber.
Yep.
Old as dirt. We got like who else? Everybody we got.
Well, there's Glenn Robinson,
Big
Robinson.
Dog. Yeah, he was an old dog by then.
He was a very old dog.
Yeah, and then we got Dikembe Mutombo. He was a little long in the tooth. He still was wagging his finger, but he was a little long in the tooth.
Well, the good thing with Dikembe, he didn't have to jump too much. He was so tall, he could just block it.
Oh yeah, but my gripe is like, why we always get them on their last legs? Not when they're supernova. We get them when they're a dwarf.
See, that's what I was saying earlier. And that is like when the Sixers got Dr. J and Moses, they were in their prime.
Yes.
They walked in and they were still at the peak of their power.
Right. That's what I was saying. And now I was happy to see because he could be a guy that actually puts us over the top.
Yep.
I was like, but to titillate that he's going to be anything like he used to be, I really liked it mainly because we had Jaylen Brown first.
Yep.
That's why he's here. Once we, because I still don't know what the hell the Celtics are doing. I felt like I was in the twilight zone and somebody was punking me or something when the trade went down. And then you get that done, and then you get the kid Anthony
Anthony Simons.
Yeah, and then you draft the kid out of Alabama, and who's
LeBaron Philo. By the way, how about that?
Yeah,
the rookie's name is LeBaron, but LeBron James signed.
Yes.
You don't think that's going to be a little confusing at practice?
Not really. Not really. One is a superstar, a Hall of Famer,
right,
and knows his way out, and the other one is a small guy who's just getting things started.
That's true. That's true.
It's like, but I think it's a tremendous mix of old and young.
Yes.
And you had to get, once you get that Jalen Brown and he gets on the team doing what he does, because I want to see what the gripe was, because I don't know about you, but Bradley, he didn't explain it well when he's on the trade.
Oh, Brad Stevens.
Stevens. My bad. I want to call him Bradley so bad, but Brad Stevens. When he explained the trade about not paying 70% of the money, the owner doubled back and said, "Yeah, it wasn't about money."
Yeah, I'll tell you what it's about. It's about ego and pride, and the fact that they basically wanted Jason Tatum to be the face of the organization. They didn't want Jalen Brown, so they picked one guy over the other. And at the end of the day, they used money as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, in some ways, the math is mathing. Nothing you can do about that. But listen, if you really want something to happen, how it is, Hollis. These teams will make it work.
Yeah, but you were trying to get Giannis, and you didn't get the golden horse. Because how much you thought Giannis was going to take a pay cut if he went there? If he went to Boston? No. It was still going to be the same thing. When you look at the grand scheme of things, he messed up again.
Yep.
And I wanted, because they asked him.
Now it's worse.
Yes, it's good. Oh God, it's going to be god awful, because they signed a bunch of random guys. Like Paul George already wasn't readily available for us all the time. I was like, it's kind of like that. That was another one. We got Paul George at the end.
Oh my goodness! I never wanted Paul George in the first place. That was one of those moves. I at least understood the Chris Webber move. Again, we can talk with Hollis Thomas here with the Eagles for a decade. Of course, he's signing bottles and shirts thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. By the way, Hollis doing a great job. If you're watching on the YouTube stream or on X, he's signing while he's talking, so he's doing the multitasking as well.
Well, that's why when I drive, I get pissed off at people who can't talk on the phone with the headset on and drive at the same time. You got to have the phone up here, and then the phone's up here, and you're going 10 miles an hour. And for all of those who think that the left lane is for crime, damn it, don't get into the left lane going 50 miles per hour. Mm-hmm. So I was watching the news the other day, and they were saying they're going to crack down on aggressive drivers. Well, are you going to crack down on stupid drivers? Are you going to crack? Because I don't know about you. I've never had road rage. Don't you get stupid rage when you're driving sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
There's stupid people out there.
And if you're not cursing while you're driving, you're probably the problem.
Yeah. It's funny you said that, because I've interviewed Michael Bisping, the former UFC champion, a couple times. And I asked him, what is the thing you hate most about America? Mm-hmm. I was making a guy from out here.
Right.
And he goes, I hate the drivers.
Yeah.
I hate the people that can't drive.
Yes. It's because sometimes when people hear me on the phone, you talking on the phone, get the hell out of the way. And then you go from conversation to cursing and stuff. And one time my mom, rest her soul, was like, she was like, man, you need a hug or something. You really got it bad in traffic. So then I was at home and I was talking to her on the phone, and guess who was doing the same thing? I was like, I wonder where I get it from.
Right.
But yeah, the one thing, if any gripe you have with America, it's the drivers, and I don't think it changes when you go to other countries either.
Hollis, a couple quick Eagles things for later. Okay. You get back to Bird Gang Spirits. The Eagles this year, they got another new offensive coordinator. Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, because you're someone who yourself had to go through coaching changes as well. You're from Ray Rhodes to Andy Reid.
Right.
So for you, what is the perspective that people may not understand for a player when the change of the coaches like that happens?
Well, I think this guy he's a former backup quarterback.
Yep.
And so he knows how to call plays. The thing that we ran into with the past two people that we had to ceremoniously let go. Well, we had those down years, and for all this is ESPN, right?
Yep.
For all those chumps that be not putting my quarterback in the top 5, everybody on your list has lost to Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Everybody on your list.
Everyone.
It's all about winning, and it's about quarterbacks. Everybody talks about. I'm sorry, I'm off kilter here because
we're backing you.
Yeah, because this is in football, it's about winning, and you can put it like I was cracking up because they was talking about putting different quarterbacks in the same situation. situation. That it's your decision making ability. It's like if you don't know to protect the ball and protect yourself, like we had Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz could have been great. I was like, but you running for a first down on fourth down in a playoff game, that the first season that you're actually healthy through, and you know the dirtiest player in the world is on the other team, and you try to get an extra yard or two, and you get hurt. And then we got
that's called bad situational awareness.
Yeah, and then we got a 40-year-old guy who pulls his butt muscle. Cheek muscle and McCown that we have to put in, and you get mad because they draft Jalen Hurts. If you're not doing your job, they're going to draft somebody at your position. And then if you're not doing your job well enough, it's going to be high. But I say all that to say I'm glad we got rid of A.J. Brown, because all the stuff that he's put out there into the universe, I don't know if I would want to be his teammate in New England. The stuff where he was putting out all the talking about, he was the one that was the anonymous source, and for all you anonymous sources out there, you're not gonna have no damn job long. Yeah. Because a football team is not like it's a family. It's a family. It's like the teams that win, they give a damn about each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they cut for each other. You putting stuff out there because you want your numbers to be higher. It's like it'll get you. He's on this third team.
Yep.
And this is also too for everybody was talking about Mike Vrabel knows how to handle him. Didn't we get him from Mike Vrabel?
Yep.
So it's like but I'm interested more to see how Jalen Hurts reacts to all of the crap that they've been showing.
Well, I think he's going to react. I think he's going to react positively. And Mike Carlin knows I was one of the guys who was happy that A.J. Brown got let go.
Yeah,
it was that conversation we had a couple months ago, and part of the reason was because of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Because to me, I think one of the biggest things this offseason is not going to talk about, because you mentioned Sean Mannion's a former backup quarterback. Yes. So now it's a quarterback talking to a quarterback,
yes.
You know. And I always go back to one of the big things no one talks about enough this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
You know who was with the Eagles this offseason? So it was Jalen, it was Sean Mannion, and it was Lincoln Riley.
Yes.
They brought Lincoln Riley in.
Yes.
And what did Lincoln Riley do? He got Jalen Hurts to be the runner-up to Heisman. So if anyone knows about Jalen, about maximizing him, and you could see Jalen's eyes, and you know this better than I do.
Yeah.
When a man looks at another man like he's paying attention, that tells you something.
Well, yeah, the thing is you have to respect your coaches. As like when the rest of, like last year, the opposing teams knew what we were doing. We were kind of vanilla, and we had the Kevin Patullo guy that was stinking up the joint. He had the recipe.
It's called a nepotism hire.
Well, it was really bad. It was like, because you sat in there, you watched what we did the previous year. You were the quarterback coach. You watched us run the ball and throw time and do timely routes. But then you try to prove a point when we got Tanner McKee in there, and you throw the ball 40 times. What if you guys are football guys? When you have the backup in, what do you do more of? You run the ball more.
Way more.
Yeah, way more. But you throw the ball 40 times against the Washington Commanders. And the Commanders did to us what we should have done to them. They ran the ball 41 times. They threw the ball 18 to 21 times. A good to great quarterback should only be throwing the ball between 21 and 30 times. The other time you should be running the ball and putting the other team on notice, because if we could dictate to you and make you one-dimensional as a defense, you're gonna have a long day. You're in trouble. And then the other part too is, if you like take the Super Bowl that we won, for instance, when we were playing against Andy Reid is a creature of habit. His first 12 plays were passes. It's like, so, but if your first 12 plays are passes, you might as well put your game plan in the trash, because the defensive line has now got it in their heads. We will play the run on the way to the pass, because you're not going to pass. And then if the offensive line lets us go, we know you're a creature of habit. You're going to throw a screenplay. It's like, so my bad. But once you get to the part where you respect the play caller, I think that's why we had to get Vic Fangio on here. So it's a guy that they respect. And then did you see the reports about him when we first got him, about how the people in Miami were against him and stuff? That's because they don't want to work.
Yeah, it's because they're soft.
Yeah, they're soft. The guy, if you have to want to, in order for you to respect, you have to do what's asked of you.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to do your job. And that when you're doing your job, you have to know what the other guys are doing around you, so you can know your latitude, what you can and can't do. It's just I can't wait to see what Sean Mannion does. The one thing that I will tell you about, though, is to get the tight ends that we possess now. And I can't wait to see the 23 and 33 packages that we run and then bust out of that formation.
Yep.
Okay, bust out that formation, then you got linebackers on Stover, linebackers on Dallas Goedert. Okay, that's going to be a mismatch all day long.
And don't forget, Steelite Sauer was a former quarterback in high school.
Yes.
So he actually knows where to go sometimes in some of those formations, maybe a little faster than somebody else will. He is the one and only Hollis Thomas. He is here with us. Thanks
I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
What do you Johnny Wilson?
Johnny Wilson, the wide receiver, probably should be a tight end.
Well, no, he should still be a wide receiver.
Okay.
What do you think Chris Manning is going to do with him? Because I felt like the last two times that he was on the cusp of doing something with the first offensive coordinator, but then he Shane Steichen left, and then you see, and then whatchamacallit left too. I feel like he was on the cusp of being that red zone guy or that seam guy.
So you want to see him do more touches?
Yes, a few more touches.
What I would do with him, as someone who is a former defensive back in high school who's short, I would say,
Ray Rose was a defensive back.
I would say,
did you know that?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, he was about your height too. He was
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
I feel better about myself.
Yeah, but he was a pro too. So
Yeah,
he was.
Ray Rose.
Yeah, he was.
special.
Yeah, he was. Oh, dude.
Special.
Yeah, so you got that mentality of I don't care how tall you are, but continue.
No, I would say if I'm a coach, I'm lining Johnny Wilson up on whoever the shortest guy is, and just say go to the end zone.
Well, really, all you have to do is line him up in the slot, because your big corners that doesn't really have any fluency in their hips and stuff,
right,
keep them on the edge. The guys who have the fast twitch, you have to put them on the inside, because those are going to be the guys who do the herky jerky. Yeah, to do the herky jerky stuff.
With the season coming up,
yeah,
if you were on the team right now,
yeah,
we're always our number one goal is always win our division.
Right.
Who is in your ears, talking in your head like, this is the team we got to watch out for this year? Is it the Giants? Is Washington with the quarterback coming back? Giants new coach, or is it? I hate to say it, Dallas. We always talk about Dallas, and they always come up short.
Dallas always comes up short, but when you're a player, everybody's a threat.
Okay.
It's like the one thing that you have to know is if you come and shoot onto the NFL field, that's the opposing team. They're professionals for a reason.
Right, they're there for
and if you give them some bulletin board material, like start talking trash quick before you go. I know you got to go to break. My rookie year, all we had to do was beat the 1-14 New York Jets. Ty Detmer got on TV and said, if we can't beat the Jets, we need to be at home anyway. They gave. If you go back and look at those stats, go back and look at those stats. They gave us all. We literally had to win in the last waning minutes of that game.
I also remember Coach Rhodes, the disgusted look on his face early in the fourth quarter. They showed him on TV.
Yes, because we should have been killing them, but we gave them something to play for. You never wake a sleeping giant. You don't give it. It's like their cars were started. Their offseason was ready. But it's like so y'all gonna disrespect us?
Right.
That's like So it's like everybody has a great plan until they get punched in the mouth. So it's like you can't wake a sleeping giant. They're professionals.
And if you don't,
go ahead.
If you don't want to be punched in the mouth, shut your mouth.
Yes. Keep it closed and keep your mouthpiece in.
Exactly. Alice, great stuff,
Appreciate
my man.
you, baby.
Appreciate you jumping on with us. Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors, where you can meet Hollis Thomas. Come on down, hang out with us. Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live here on 97.3 ESPN. Go Birds. Bird Gang Spirits, of course, the official drinks, spirits of the Philadelphia Eagles. Hollis Thomas will be here signing autographs, bottles, shirts, whatever you want. He's going to sign it for you. He'll take a picture with you as well. Also, your chance to win a signed Jalen Hurts jersey as well. Yeah, I know we're late for the break, so we're going to hit the break right now. We'll come back for more of Hanging with Hennig, myself and Mike Carlin, broadcast live from Boulevard Super Liquors at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Still to come, we have the Ivy Rehab injury report coming up in about 13 minutes from now with Dr. Rich Mong, as well as NBA insider Brandon Scoopy Robinson joining us coming up at 2 p.m. And, of course, we'll get back to your text as well, 609-403-0973. Your thoughts on LeBron James coming to Philadelphia. Josh Hennig, Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN.
South Jersey's official play-by-play home of the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
At 0 point would I ever consider not being a fan of the team.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Sunday morning in the locker room with Billy Schwein, producer Alex Berardis, and Aaron Ewing join me in the studio. We'll continue our LeBron James celebration. Then we'll talk Phillies baseball and go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green, brought to you by Blitz's Market of Ocean City. Hour 2, Mr. Negadelphia PJ Corda checks in, brought to you by the Vassar Pool Service. Is there anything to be negative about? Eagles talking more. It's the Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Sunday morning from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN.
Is your trading stopping you from shopping? It's time to drop in some Matt Black Nissan.
Don't freak out about your old car. Trade out. Matt Black Nissan and Matt Black Infiniti can get you out. Get up to $4,000 over Kelly Blue Book Fair Trade value for your old car. Come see us today at Matt Black Nissan and Matt Black Infiniti on the Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township.
It's time to drop in some Matt Black Nissan.
Next trade for the purchase of select models expires 1 day.
Listen up. The soap you shower with, it's you probably haven't even questioned what bar of soap you lather up with. Let's face it, most guys don't. But now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. I'm talking about natural, nourishing, cold-pressed, hand-cut soap for men. Men who use their hands. Men who build things. Men who catch foul balls without spilling their beer. You won't just smell good either. Your skin will be healthier and more nourished. We make our soaps with natural ingredients from the earth. Ingredients like oils, plants, goat's milk, Greek yogurt, oatmeal, shea butter, and citrus. Turn your shower game up to 11. Get ready to step out of the shower feeling alive.
Hey, this is Josh Hennig. Go to my social media and click my exclusive Dr. Squatch link for your chance to save $10 off your next order of great natural soap, deodorant, and much more. Only with Dr. Squatch.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples. That was easy. Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Broadleys has proudly served South Jersey homes and businesses as a family-owned company since 1911. As their way of showing gratitude and celebrating 250 years of our great country, they are offering an extra $250 off any HVAC install now through July 31st. Plus, take advantage of 0% financing and rebates up to $3,650. Call today for a free quote or visit broadleys.net.
The name you know, the service you trust.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. Every day, the Branch's outreach is on the move. They're recovering fresh food from local grocery stores before it goes to waste and bringing meals and essential supplies to communities all across Cape May County. They're stocking pantry shelves, supporting families, and connecting people with advocacy, case management, and resources that can change lives. Last year alone, the Branch's outreach served nearly 14,000 warm meals, provided more than 6,400 pantry distributions, and helped more than 15,000 family members put food on the table. But all of that depends on one thing: getting there. That's why the Branches has launched the Road Ahead campaign to purchase a new outreach van that will help recover more food, expand outreach, and bring essential resources to even more people across Cape May County. Whether you're a year-round resident or enjoying everything Cape May County has to offer this summer, you can help keep this mission moving. Visit thebranchesoutreach.org and support the Road Ahead campaign today. Help keep the Branches moving.
Home of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill, 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City.
This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right?
Yeah. Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
Hello.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
Josh Hennig back here at Boulevard Super Liquors, hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. We're a little late there on the break, but I mean, what only Hollis Thomas here. We had to chat with him.
That was great.
So much fun. I could have talked to him for 2 hours, honestly. But he's got people to meet. And, signing. It was first of all, how about the fact that he was signing the bottles as he was talking with us.
Anybody's listening out there, you're in your car and you're driving past Super Liquors. I'm telling you, now's the time to stop by.
Well, even if you're not driving past Super Liquors, if you're in the area, just come on by. Come on in, stock up for the weekend, meet Hollis Thomas, have your chance to win a Jalen Hurts signed jersey. Hollis will sign your bottle, your Bird Gang Spirit shirt, and of course, all this is thanks to Bird Gang Spirits at Boulevard Super Liquors. That's why we are here for Night in Venice weekend. We are here for Christmas in July weekend, and of course, we're here for LeBron. I said that tongue in cheek.
Everybody's here for LeBron now.
Mike, I wanted to ask you, because one of the things I was talking with Coach Steph about earlier is that she made a comment about LeBron, about how, and I'm not saying as well as she did, so I understand that, but like she was talking about how like the fact that LeBron went to his family and got their clearance, their permission. She said it doesn't just show you that he has his life in order. She says, but it shows you the kind of person he's going to be for the Sixers. Talk about that a little bit. The fact that LeBron coming here, the quality of man that he is, how that can impact the team.
Well, he's coming to a city that never, other than flying in and playing and flying out that night, what's he really know about the Philadelphia area other than people that he trusts, people that know the area? And what's one of the things he said? I can't wait, because the one thing about Philly fans is they take their team serious.
Yes,
they get behind it. And everybody says a hardworking, city. Well, yeah, we're a hardworking city. All we ask for is to give us your best. Well, guess what? That's all LeBron does every time he steps on the court. He gives it his best. So he wants to be part of that, and he's here to win a championship. And trust me, nothing is going to stop him. He's going to be tough on players. He's going to be tough on coaches. He's going to be tough on everybody, because this is it. Yeah, he left his family. Remember, a big deal going from the West Coast to the East Coast, Josh. Without your wife, without the kids, very easily he could have went to Golden State and been at home almost every night with a plane. He's a private plane guy. He's in Philadelphia. It's not like Miami. Miami's not Philly. Let's make sure we all know that. If you have money, like they have, the players, the Miami lifestyle is very nice.
Yes.
Okay. When Butler was playing for the Heat, he used to come to the games on his boat.
Yep.
On his boat, he would take
on his own boat. Yeah.
On his own boat from his house, come play a game, go home. That's the kind of lifestyle that when you have money, you can live. He gave that up, which he was comfortable with. So for him to come to Philly and not really have an idea of what Philly's like,
it shows you how serious he is.
Other than what he's heard, that's my point. He is serious, and he's talked to the right people, and he's here to win a championship.
Couple texts I want to squeeze in before we hit the break at 609-403-0970 from earlier in the show. Glenn and Absekin says, the narrative all year is going to be how many times are they all going to be on the court at the same time? Can the chemistry be created that way? One of them probably is going to pull a hamstring, or something's going to come non-health-wise during the season, but there could be too many cooks in the kitchen. I want to stop it there. I don't think that's a fair assessment, because historically, there's only one guy on this team with an injury history. That's Joel.
Yeah.
LeBron, the two most recent injury issues he has had, they were flukes. They weren't because his body is breaking down, number one. Number two, the other time he missed time was because of false positive due to COVID back in 2021. So I don't think it's a fair narrative to say that, oh, they're all going to have health and injury issues. Joel's the only one. Number two, LeBron's coming here to be part of the team, not to be the head of the team. So I don't think it's a fair assessment. I think LeBron, for example, remember when he went to the Heat, how it took them time to gel? It took them time to gel because that was a 25-year-old LeBron. This is a very different LeBron James. LeBron's not walking in trying to figure out whose team it is. He's walking in saying, I want to help you win a championship. I'll do whatever it takes.
Right. Remember, he went to the Heat thinking he's never going to go anywhere else. Okay? He's already made it clear. This is a one-year deal. Even though it's a 2-year deal, it's a player option. It's really a one-year deal.
Exactly.
He's here to win a championship, and that's why I'm saying he's here to say, hey, Maxie, Brown, and I'm just here to make you guys help you out any way I can.
Yep.
Okay? He's not – when you said going to Miami, yeah, he's walking in. Wade's there. They was filled with guys.
They brought in Bosch.
They were all in their prime at that time. He's walking in. He knows he's not his prime. But don't let – no one's going to tell me that he's even a little bit getting past his prime. Because just, again, I go back to last year, out of all the NBA players, they gave a player of the month. He won for February against everyone. Name all the superstars you have. He was the best player in February. So, again, this is not Michael Jordan going to Washington at the end for the last 2 years saying,
No.
Oh, man, I wish he wouldn't play no more. He's going to put up 20, 10, or do whatever, or have 15 assists. He'll do whatever he has to do to make this team best. And more importantly, like we've done, I want to ask Hollis what it's like when behind the scenes, not just in the game, at practice, on the plane. Yeah, everything comes in. You spend 10 minutes with the guy.
Yep.
From what he has in his head to teach people is going to be unbelievable.
He's Mike Carlin. I'm Josh Hennig, hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors here on 97.3 ESPN. Coming up on the other side, we will have the Ivy Rehab Injury Report. It will get back to your text at 609-403-0973. Don't forget Ivy Rehab with over 18 locations around South Jersey, offering best-in-class outpatient physical therapy. I can say that because they were my physical therapists. That's why we're going to have Dr. Rich Mong joining us coming up on the other side to get into the latest injuries around Major League Baseball, along with a pretty wild injury to start training camp in the NFL. All that and more. So to come on Hanging with Hennig, broadcasted live from Boulevard Super Liquors. Come on down. Meet former Eagle Hollis Thomas. Sign up to get a Jalen Hurts signed jersey and other great prizes. Thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. But you must come on down the Boulevard Super Liquors today. Come on down. Stock up for the weekend. Hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle City. And we are streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig.
The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street is Stone Harbor's most complete entertainment experience. Great food, fun, and libations, and newly remodeled for 2026. The same great owners and all your favorite menu items remain, and now we've taken things up a notch with a brand new bar, new sound system, 36 brand new 4K TVs, and more. No matter where you sit, you always have a perfect sight line to the big game, and you've got to try our mouth-watering new menu items. Start your meal with blackened scallops, homemade fried pickles, or a cheeseburger flatbread. Try our new Chicago-style dog, or the Mary Ann sandwich, a chicken cutlet, broccoli rabe, and sharp provolone on world-famous Rando's Bakery Atlantic City bread. The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill sources only the top ingredients and serves up the best quality food. Voted best wings of Stone Harbor and the Jersey Shore by Lord of the Wings. Prime rib nights Friday and Saturdays, rib nights on Sundays, and Mike the Magician Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The newly remodeled Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street in the heart of Stone Harbor. Open 11:30 a.m. till midnight, 7 days a week. Go to stoneharborbarandgrill.com or call 609-961-3534 for more.
Bridgeton Auto Mall is celebrating America's 250th anniversary by giving back to our community in a big way. Now through July 31st, you can win your share of $25,000 in cash. Buy a new or pre-owned vehicle, and you'll be entered for a chance to win $20,000. Visit our service department for maintenance or repairs. You'll be entered to win $5,000. Join us for our grand drawing event on Saturday, August 1st with live music, barbecue, family fun, and your chance to win big.
No purchase necessary. See dealer for complete details. Visit BridgetonAutomall.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Summer's here, and the heat is on. Attila's Gyms has got you covered with top-tier equipment and their legendary old-school vibe. Whether you're hitting the beach or hitting a personal record, they've got everything you need to stay strong while on vacation. And best of all, no contracts, just fitness on your terms. With 5 convenient locations, Wildwood, Sea Isle, Ocean City, Egg Harbor, and Galloway, your next workout is minutes away. Join Attila's Gyms today.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Hey, you know what? There's another name you might know me by. Star-Lord.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Hanging with Hennig back here at Boulevard Super Liquors on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, and streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig. That's where you will see our next guest, Dr. Richard Mong. He is joining us for the Ivy Rehab Injury Report. There are 18 locations around South Jersey, also soon coming to Ventnor Heights, all pretty South Jersey, best-in-class outpatient physical therapy. And we got a couple of interesting injuries to get to with Dr. Mong today here on 97.3 ESPN. Dr. Rich, how you doing today?
Great, Josh. Thanks for having me again. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. And remind me, you're at the Vineland location, correct?
That's correct. Vineland, New Jersey.
Cool. I actually live closer to Vineland than I do the radio station. So it just goes to show you that I always tell people, like, people don't understand how wild South Jersey is. Like, literally there's multiple ways to get everywhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have as much traffic as North Jersey, so it's nice.
Unless it's today when you're trying to get to and from the shore. I see all the cars out front of the door here at Boulevard. Yeah, exactly. So, Dr. Rich, a couple of interesting injuries that we want to hit on today for today's Ivy Rehab Injury Report. And I wanted to start with the one with the Philadelphia Phillies. It's the catcher, Rafael Marchand. Like, usually we're not talking about a backup catcher, right? But I thought the injury was very interesting, shall I say, because he was diagnosed with left knee patellar tendonitis. Now, when most people think of tendonitis, they're not thinking of this is going to take you out for a while, even though the MRI showed no structural damage. Wednesday, he was uncomfortable. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. So explain why patellar tendonitis, like, what does that really mean in the diagnosis and how that impacts somebody when it comes to going through physical therapy?
Yeah. Thanks, Josh. Those are some great points. Patellar tendonitis is also called jumper's knee in layman's terms. So, the patellar tendon is like a really fibrous rope-like structure, and the structure connects a muscle to the bone itself. So in this case, it's connecting the quadriceps muscle via the kneecap, the patella, and into the shin bone. In Rafael's case, he's got an inflammatory process that's occurring, and when you have inflammation to a structure such as a tendon, you're going to have pain, you're going to have swelling, loss of range of motion. As you can see, I mean, he can't perform his catching duties. He's got a lot of movement dysfunction. And usually this is caused by some type of increased mechanical loading, stress, repetitive stress, or overuse. I mean, being a catcher, being in that position is going to put that tendon and different structures to a lot of strain and stress. Now, the MRI was clean in the sense that it was really looking for any type of a soft tissue injury, such as like a muscle, a ligament, tendon, and then at times meniscus or bone. So in that respect, it was fine, but it probably did show some edema or swelling around the tendon. From a standpoint, this can be treated conservatively with fairly good outcomes. One of the things that we would use is a principle of RICE, which is resting, ice, compression, and elevation. Sometimes using use of anti-steroidal medication, anti-inflammatories could help, possibly an injection from a sports medicine or orthopedic physician. And one of the hallmarks of treatment is physical therapy. In physical therapy, what we would do is attempt to reduce the pain, the inflammation. We can use modalities, bracing. I've had some success in my practice using dry needling to promote healing and to reduce pain. We want to restore a full range of motion, strength, muscle, neuromuscular control, and thereby, when those symptoms have decreased, we should start to see normalizing of movement activities and then progressing Rafael back to sports-specific activities. Now, to determine the criteria to have him transition to sports-specific and return to sports is basically that we want to see having pain-free range of motion. His strength should be about 90% compared to his non-involved limb. And we would probably do some type of a sports-specific functional testing on him, like squatting, jumping, and running. And if he's at least 90% performance as compared to his non-involved lower extremity, then we can certainly start really considering him returning back to play.
Now, if we get back up for a moment, because your connection broke up for a moment, but you were talking about like how being a catcher impacts this kind of injury. So can you go back, kind of, refresh that point? Because I think it's very important that you explain that, the position that he plays, and I don't want to put words in your mouth because you're breaking up there for a moment, but it kind of, the position that he plays exasperates the condition, correct?
Yes, because he's in a basically a squatted position, so he's kneeling. So there's going to be a lot of mechanical loading on that tendon, the patellar tendon. And so over time, it could be due to overuse, overstrain, and can start to create some inflammatory pain. It's the principle that if you overload a tissue, it's going to start reacting. It's going to probably have some type of micro tears, which is going to cause an inflammatory process from occurring. So what we need to do is to shut that, take away that stress point. And then hopefully that once those symptoms resolve, then increasing his range of motion, strength, getting him back to pain-free dynamic activities and sports-specific activities. Given if this is something that's been long-lasting, it's probably going to take a little bit longer recovery process. If not, then hopefully, within a couple of weeks, he should hopefully be able to at least return back to limited duty and then going to full sports-specific.
And for the non-athlete who comes into Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy, they say you, Dr. Rich Mong, right? They say, hey, I got this patellar tendonitis issue. So what is the process of the checkpoints that a patient when coming into Ivy Rehab would have to hit before you would be giving them clearance to get back to like regular athletic activities?
Yeah, it comes down to, we want to get that inflammation out. We want to make sure that they're pain-free. Really have as close as possible a symmetrical range of motion, knee range of motion, and strength. Certain testing criteria we can do to test strength. We want that to be about 90% of that patient's non-involved side, and then do some sports specific or movement-based testing to see if they're able to handle the loads, which would be such as hopping, jumping, or running. Really, pain, swelling, eliminating those is always a good criteria for progression in rehab.
So with Dr. Richard Mong from Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy. There are 18 locations around South Jersey offering best-in-class outpatient physical therapy. I can say that because they were my physical therapists. That's why we endorse them here on 97.3 ESPN. Dr. Rich over there in the Vineland offices. Let's get to the other injury this week. It's just such a bizarre injury because, so for those who didn't hear, so Nick Scordon suffered a season-ending torn ACL on the first drill of the first practice of the Carolina Panthers training camp. The soon-to-be 22-year-old linebacker, he doesn't have a history of leg injuries. He has no prior medical history with knees or ankles or lower or anything. In fact, the only injury he's ever had was a fluky shoulder issue in college. So talk about, as a physical therapist, when someone comes in with such a serious injury, but they never had an injury history that anything to do with this, like what is that conversation like?
A great question. And I'd like to begin by saying I really feel for Nick. It's really, sometimes it's just tough luck. And I'm no stranger to injury as I also tore my ACL and had to have surgery. So I basically know the whole emotional process and the road back to recovery. I mean, this is what a really common knee injury. I think there's like about if I look at the literature, it's about 200,000 tears that occur annually. And majority of the injuries that occur are what we consider non-impact, like pivoting, twisting, turning suddenly. I don't know the exact mechanism of injury for Nick, and it could be a non-contact or it could have been a contact injury. So not sure. So just a brief summary, the ACL is kind of like a fibrous connective tissue. It's like a bundle. It's crisscross and attaches the shin bone to the femur, and it helps with stability of the knee. It prevents the shin bone, the bottom lower part of your leg, from shifting too much anteriorly, or what we call anterior tibial translation.
Right.
So it creates that stability in that knee along with muscles. And unfortunately, this young man, he tore that, and given his high level of physical performance requirements that needs to be an NFL football player, ultimately he's going to need surgery. So how would my conversation go with Nick? I would tell him that although this is a season-ending injury, it's not a career-ending injury. I think that's really important to know. I mean, he's young. I'm confident he'll be able to bounce back from this injury, and he'll be ready to go for the next year. ACL surgery in itself, I would tell him, is not a quick process. You have to stay the course, be mentally engaged, listen to your body, and trust the process. a great example, as remember, Tom Brady in the 2008-2009 season against the Kansas City Chiefs, he tore his left ACL, and that was the first game of the season. And that time, Brady was 37, so Nick is 21, 22. So even with that being said, Brady at his age, he was able to come back. And he also, after that point, after the injury, he was able to win multiple Super Bowls. So that's just a testament to his drive and how hard he worked to get back. And I'm very confident that Nick is going to follow in that same journey. When we look at checkpoints during the recovery process, what we want to make sure is we get the swelling down, we get the pain, restore full range of motion, symmetrical range of motion, and then getting your strength back are super critical. Trying to work on, if he has a limping gait, some type of deviations in his movement pattern. And about 6 months, we'll reassess to see if he can start beginning some running. Real important is that in the 6 to 9 month period, that's when we really start to look at running or testing for a return to sports. Now, the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons has some key recommendations and criteria for return to sports, which we like to use along with some other protocols or surgeon-specific protocols. And I'm basing this on the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. Their guidelines are less than or equal to about 9 months post-surgery is one consideration for returning back to sports. Another one is what we consider 90% single limb index, which means that at night you want your involved surgical leg to be at 90% performance as compared to the non-surgical knee with some sport-specific activities or hop test. We also want to make sure that your strength, especially the quadriceps, the thigh muscle, is at 90% as compared to your non-involved. Also, super important is the psychological readiness. We need to make sure that individual, that athlete is, assess their fear and confidence level. And it's, at a point where if it's all good, then, we can start to do more sports specific and really looking at the return to work criteria. And the evidence also shows that if an athlete reaches those milestones or those marks, that they're at less increase of a re-injury from occurring. So, those are some of the objectifiable tests that we use in order to, rate how a person's doing during the course of rehab, when they're ready to run, when they're ready to progress, and when they're ready to return to more sports-specific activities and ultimately back into the playing field. So I anticipate that, his process is going to be 9 to 12 months, but he should, if he has his surgery, hopefully within the next week or 2 weeks, he'll be ready for training camp next year, and then hopefully have a great second, for actually his first season, injury-free, knock on wood.
Absolutely. Again, you don't want to come back too soon from any of these injuries. Like you said, the re-injury, it puts you back even further, and it frustrates you, and frankly makes you probably depressed even more. As someone myself who, I remember coming back from my knee injury, they injured the other knee, shortly thereafter. So it's like, if you don't do it the right way, I can speak from experience. If you don't do it the right way, you're going to have a problem. That's why I recommend IV rehab, because I didn't have IV rehab when I injured my knee, but I had them when I injured my neck and my shoulder. And you guys do an amazing job at helping people go through all the checkpoints, getting to the point where you're ensuring that the recovery is what it needs to be. And again, there are 18 locations around South Jersey offering best-in-class outpatient physical therapy. He is Dr. Richard Mong over at the Violin location. He joined us right here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Dr. Rich, great stuff today.
Thanks, Josh. Have a great day. Thank you.
Absolutely. Josh Hennig hanging with you from Boulevard Super Liquors. That's where we are hanging out today, where you can come down and meet the one and only Hollis Thomas, who's with the Eagles for a decade. Of course, he is signing Bird Gang Spirit bottles. He's signing autographs, taking pictures with everybody. But you got to come on down, because you only can meet Hollis Thomas today at Boulevard Super Liquors. It'll also be your chance to win a signed Jalen Hurts jersey. So come on down, meet Hollis Thomas, and win prizes thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. Josh Hennig hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, being brought to you by Cross County Connection, presenting 6 new SJ Connect shuttles, providing fare free transportation across Southern New Jersey, connected jobs, colleges, healthcare, shopping, government services, and NJ Transit hubs, all at no cost to riders. For details, call 856-229-7571 or visit driveless.com. Coming up on the other side, we'll check back in on more of your messages on the text board, 609-403-0973. Plus, I see Angie and Tuckerton and others commenting on the YouTube stream. With those and more coming up in just a bit here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN.
Today on ESPN Radio, two teams in the thick of the NL wildcard race go head-to-head in D.C.
Still going back onto the track. Leads gone. Nolan Arenado.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are in the nation's capital to face James Wood and the Washington Nationals.
Clears the bullpen of the bleachers. 4:35 for Wood.
The Diamondbacks at the Nationals. Coverage begins today at 3:30 Eastern.
Listen to Major League Baseball all season on 97.3 ESPN.
Whether you are stocking up for a summer party, a day at the beach, or that golden hour dinner at your favorite BYOB restaurant, your one-stop shopping destination where I go for every occasion is Boulevard Super Liquors. At the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge, Boulevard Super Liquors has the best selection of craft beer, whiskey, vodka, wines, and tequila in all of South Jersey. Plus, they are minutes from Garden State Parkway, exit 25, so you can easily stop into Boulevard Super Liquors on your travels all around South Jersey. Family owned and operated for 4 generations, Boulevard Super Liquors also has the largest temperature-controlled wine room in New Jersey, offering you the best selection of wines for your next dinner date or social outing. These are just some of the reasons why Boulevard Super Liquors is my go-to. On Roosevelt Boulevard, at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge, the best selection of beer and spirits in South Jersey.
Filling marble and tile, transforming spaces into beautiful places.
Hey, it's Joe Kelly. Filling Marble and Tile Retail Outlet in South Jersey is a premier family-owned stone dealer and installation expert. Residences, businesses, hospitals, schools, Atlantic City casinos, and more have trusted Filling Marble for quality marble, granite, and tile. Stop by today.
Filling marble and tile, transforming spaces into beautiful places.
See them online at fillingmarble.com.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like head administrator for a state-of-the-art surgical center.
What can I do for you, Doc?
We need to talk about the lights.
Ah, the mood lighting, relaxing, right? Much better than those old hospital vibes.
A hospital's supposed to have hospital vibes.
You seem tense. Let's dim the lights a bit.
This is the job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Comedian Joey Diaz.
Because you don't need 20 friends. You just need 3 motherfuckers and you can take over a country.
62 and still slinging.
Okay, that's what we're confused as Americans. We think we need all these motherfuckers. You give me 3 bad motherfuckers and you're finished. You understand me? Because we got each other.
Friday and Saturday, August 7th and 8th at Ovation Hall and Ocean Casino Resort. Get tickets now at theoceanac.com. Don't miss Joey Diaz.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has been proudly serving South Jersey for over 20 years. Owner Matt Calloway was born and raised in Cape May County and has over 25 years of experience in the heating and cooling industry, as well as fireplaces, plumbing, and bathroom renovations. You can always count on a licensed and insured local contractor like TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling to be there promptly and to fix your problem right the first time. If your home needs a little TLC, get TLC Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today. Online at tlcphc.com.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Hanging out at the Piccadilly. Nowhere tomorrow. Everyone's happy. Beers keep coming. Tails piled high with friends and family. Spirits to the sky.
Calling all Jeep enthusiasts. Make the trip to the Pick Saturday, July 25th for their Jeep show. Whether you have a stock Jeep, a fully built off-road machine, or anything in between, take it out for good times in the Pines. The original Piccalilli Inn, Route 206, Chemung, New Jersey. Follow the Pick on Facebook or visit piccalilli.com.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
When it comes to injuries, you can't afford to get it wrong. Insurance companies, they delay, deny, and pay as little as possible. Who's on your side? The law offices of Craig A. Altman. Car accidents, slip and falls, serious workplace injuries. They build cases to put real pressure on the other side. And you pay nothing unless they win. Don't guess, don't wing it. Call 856-327-8899 or visit CraigAltmanLaw.com. Local office in Vineland, backed by a Philly firm that knows how to win.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I stood right there not too long ago, and I told the entire world, I said, call me what you want. Yeah.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
And there's nothing you can do about it, and that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. Yeah.
Streaming live on YouTube and the X platform.
Josh Hennig back here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge. And we're not just here because Night in Venice is tonight. We're not just here because it's Christmas in July, but we're also here because Bird Gang Spirits is here. Former Eagle Hollis Thomas is meeting people, signing bottles, signing shirts, and, of course, your chance to win a signed Jalen Hurts Eagles jersey, all presented by Bird Gang Spirits. Joining us right now is Ted from Bird Gang Spirits. Ted, how's it going, man?
Good, guys. How are you guys doing tonight? Thanks for having me in.
We're doing good. And, I think what's so cool is that, it's just we're literally counting down days. The Eagles come in the training camp. So it's the perfect time to come in, get your Bird Gang Spirits, and stock up for not just the weekend, but when the Birds report the training camp.
That's exactly right. We got through the World Cup and all the great things going on in Philadelphia. Now everybody's going to be super excited about Eagles football starting up another week.
So, one of the things I think you don't know about Bird Gang Spirits, you're the official spirits of the Philadelphia Eagles.
We are the official spirits partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Yep. And we have all our products here at Boulevard Liquor. We've got a great bourbon, incredible vodka, and 2 different tequilas. And interesting about these, the products this year, they're all designed by local Philadelphia artists. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but Jordan Spector, you might be familiar with, that does those great baseball cards.
Yep.
He designed our vodka, and then Heavy Slime, if you've heard of him, he's designed all our tequilas. So pretty cool, the collectible bottles.
You know what's nice when I was walking around before we were setting up? Not just that we have bottles here that you want to take home and open and taste, but also for the true Eagles fans, there's bottles here that you just want to have up on a case and people walk in and you tell right away I'm an Eagles fan kind of thing.
Absolutely. You want to put it down in your man cave, your basement, and show it off. And it's nice is every year the bottle changes. So it's kind of a collectible thing, which is great.
And that's why it's so cool that Hollis is here to sign the bottle, because now you have a collector's item bottle with Hollis Thomas's signature on it. And of course, again, like you said, it's every year it's shifting, it's changing.
That's right. Every year it's shifting and changing. And how cool is it to have Hollis Thomas here? Great defensive end for the Eagles for 9 years, signing bottles. I hope you can get a lot of people. If you're on your way down Ocean City, stop in.
Yeah.
But even if you're not coming down Ocean City, if you're just driving down the Parkway, X25 is literally
half a mile up the
30
Parkway.
seconds.
So that's what I always love about Boulevard Super Liquors. Like, literally, you don't have to be going to Ocean City. Like, for example, full disclosure, I don't go to the beach in Ocean City. I go to another island. But I still stop by Boulevard Super Liquors because it's on my way to that other beach. So the beauty is that you can come on, whether you're going to Sea Isle, you're going to Longport, Ventnor, Margate, or you're going down south to Avalon and Southern Harbor, you come into Boulevard Super Liquors, right off the X25 of the Parkway, come in and say hello to Hollis Thomas, former Eagles player. Get your chance to win a signed Jalen Hurts jersey, all thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. It's just simple.
Super simple. 30 seconds and you're here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For you, because we talked to you about this a little bit before, but I want to bring it up again. The variety that you guys offer with Bird Gang Spirits, I think is one of the coolest parts of it, because there literally is a spirit for everyone, basically.
There's a spirit for everyone. Yep, it's a high quality spirits we put in the bottle too for very affordable prices. That's the whole point. We want you to crack it open at a tailgate, enjoy it, and go back and get another one.
For you, Mike, I know that you're mostly just a rum guy. So, but I know you kind of look at a lot of those bottles and you're like, you know what, this bottle is so cool. I'll even try something different.
Absolutely. Or like I said, there's bottles here that I may not even want to open and just have in the man cave. Or if I'm going to a friend's house for a birthday and I always say, what am I going to get a friend? Some guys have everything. It's like, what am I going to get them? You get them a nice bottle of this with the Eagles fan. Trust me, they're the kind of things where people will say, hey, you actually thought about something to get me, not just a T-shirt or a sweatshirt.
And even better if you get one signed. It's
exactly.
I didn't know you were a rum fan, though. Did you know we made a Bird Gang rum?
No.
Yeah, we made it just one time only for the Brazil game.
Oh,
but I have a couple bottles, so when I see you next time, I'll make sure I bring a bottle of rum.
Nice.
Look at that. Look at that, Mike. I'm indirectly helping you out by accident. Now, of course, obviously, the topic of the day, Ted, is LeBron James. Coming to Philadelphia. So I asked this question, and I'm going to ask you. So for you, is LeBron James like the biggest star athlete you think has ever come to Philadelphia?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, yeah, he's got to be right up there with the top biggest athletes that ever come to Philadelphia.
Well, we were debating status-wise.
Status-wise.
I mean, Dr. J came, that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, guys got, but this is LeBron James.
This is LeBron James, 42-year-old LeBron James. Yeah,
right. Well, see, that's my argument. My argument is that, like, when Moses Malone came here, for the '83 season, or when Dr. J came in the late '70s, they were here coming in their prime.
Exactly.
So to me, that was a little bit of a different vibe. LeBron coming here, he's not here to be the face of the team necessarily. He's being here to elevate the team. So it's like a different vibe to me.
That's what I'm looking at, too. I think the positivity there is you're going to bring in a guy that has incredible work ethic. Hopefully, he's going to instill that into the team. They're going to see this guy out there kicking ass, kicking butt at 42 years old, and that's the exciting part. I just hope it doesn't turn into like when Michael Jordan went to the Wizards, if you remember that fiasco.
See, I don't think it will for this reason.
Yep.
For LeBron, I don't know if you've seen the videos. I mean, the dude is doing workouts that like nobody else is doing to stay in incredible. I mean, he's literally bouncing on a Bosu ball doing shoulder presses. Like, who does that?
Listen, remember what I told you guys just last year, the month of February?
Yeah.
He was player of the month for the whole league.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. True. So this is not a Michael Jordan. He's already made it clear. I'm only going to play really 1 year. They say it's 2 years player option. Because he's come back for 1 year. Okay. He's going to give it everything he's got. And then it's not going to be a Jordan where we're going to sit back and say, God, I wish he would have stopped 2-3 years ago. He's going to play next year. And if we win it all, he may leave. And guess what? He may win it all and say, I'll come back for the 25th and then I'll be done.
And really quick, and I know it's not an apples-to-apples comparison, but it does have a similar vibe. Not literally the same because LeBron's a megastar on epic proportions, but it's a little similar to when Saquon Barkley came to Philadelphia, where it's like you have a player who doesn't need to be the whole team. He just needs to elevate the team.
Yeah, but Saquon was in his prime, too, when he showed up. So.
Right. Well, still. So,
yeah.
Ted, really quick, tell folks one more time about Bird Gang Spirits.
So, Bird Gang Spirits, official partner, a spirits partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. We've been with the team for the last 4 years, and we just appreciate all the fan support for this product out there. Come on down to Super Liquor, Boulevard Liquor in Marmora, and come get a bottle and get Hollis Thomas.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and it's always in stock, too, which is the great thing about it as well. You guys always make sure that it's well-stocked here at Boulevard Super Liquors as well. Ted, appreciate you jumping on, man.
Thanks, guys. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Josh Hennig hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle. Hey, don't forget, coming up in the next hour, we'll talk with NBA insider Brandon Scoopy Robinson. Our 2 o'clock hour coming up is going to be brought to you by the law offices of Craig A. Altman. Listen, you never wish anything bad to happen to anyone, but if you get into a car accident, slip and fall at work, you need to have a lawyer who's going to be on your side, who's here in South Jersey. And that's the law office of Craig A. Altman, located on Landis Avenue in Vineland. Don't hope for the best. If you get into a car accident or slip and fall at work, you need the lawyers who are right here in South Jersey to help you out at 856-327-8899, or you can visit them for a free consultation right now online at CraigAltmanLaw.com. joshuashennig.com to sponsor the 2 o'clock hour. Coming up next on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, where we will talk with NBA insider Brandon Scoopy Robinson, get his perspective on LeBron landing in Philadelphia. That's next.
Your daily dose of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill just got bigger, better, and completely visual. Catch the Sports Bash with Mike Gill streaming live daily on the 97.3 ESPN YouTube channel. Get the real-time takes, the best guest insiders, and join the conversation in the live chat. Don't miss a single show. Head over to YouTube right now. Search 97.3 ESPN. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and watch the Sports Bash live.
Get ready for an unforgettable summer at Ocean Casino Resort. Watch as we light up the sky with patriotic drone shows every Friday in July in celebration of America's 250th birthday. Visit theoceanac.com for more details.
Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Baseball season is in full swing, and there's no better place to be than Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. Milwaukee's currently trading at 9% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $1,000 with a win. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as the odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. Download the Kalshi app and use code TURF to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Ventnor Social is Down Beach's go-to spot for game days, happy hours, beach nights, live music, great food, cold drinks, and being social. Catch all the live sports action on 20 big screen TVs or kick back on the rooftop deck. Join us Wednesday, July 29th from 2 to 6 as the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN. Broadcast live during a Phillies watch party. It's your last chance to register to win a pair of Phillies tickets and a bus trip to Camden Yards for the July 31st game. Ventnor Social on Ventnor Avenue in Ventnor. Follow them on Facebook for specials and events.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. One of the things I love most about a strong community is that people show up for one another. That's exactly what happens every day at the branch's outreach in Cape May County. Their team, volunteers, donors, and community partners work together to provide meals, stock pantry shelves, distribute clothing and personal care items, and connect individuals and families with advocacy, case management, and the support they need to move forward. For some, it's a warm meal. For others, it's groceries for their family, help navigating a difficult situation, or simply knowing there's somewhere to turn. The need for those services continues to grow, and every day the branches depend on people who believe in giving back to keep this work going. Whether Cape May County is your home or your favorite place to visit, you can be part of that team. Visit thebranchesoutreach.org and make a donation today. Together, we can strengthen the community we all love. Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They got him again!
Sixers.
Bang! It's good! Ball game!
And Flyers.
Tipped in front of the net!
97.3 ESPN, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Finally! This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity. Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
Hour 3 of Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors, where you can meet former Eagle Hollis Thomas, along with a Jalen Hurts signed jersey, along with other great prizes, thanks to Bird Gang Spirits. Only here for a short amount more time, so come on down here. It was great to talk with Hollis Thomas earlier in the show. Josh Hennig, along with Mike Carlin, broadcasting live for a night in Venice weekend. Christmas in July, whatever your reason is, you got to stock up at Boulevard Super Liquors this weekend. Of course, maybe you're celebrating LeBron James coming to Philadelphia. And joining us to talk more about that, the man who frankly, he's been all over the LeBron James stuff. We're talking way for years and years now. He was all over him going to LA. He was all over him coming to Philadelphia. Now, the one and only friend of mine, Brandon Scoopy Robinson, joins us right here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. My brother, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. It's good to have you back on the show. And here's where I want to start with you, because I think it's very important to highlight, some of the perspective of LeBron coming to Philadelphia. You've done an amazing job, but you were one of the first people. You came on with me explaining how, LeBron's connection to Tyrese Maxey is a clutch client. LeBron's connection to Mike Gansey, the fact that LeBron respects Bob Myers. You were saying that for weeks and weeks, and now that it's come to fruition here that LeBron did choose Philadelphia. What is your perspective right now on the aftermath of seeing all those connections kind of come to fruition here with this decision?
I think it's good for basketball, but I also think LeBron is going to stack teams in his favor to make things happen, and the Jaylen Brown move added a dimension to it for those stacks to make sense. But the relationship to Tyrese Maxey was definitely there. Even the relationship with Jameer Nelson, a former peer, who's now the GM of the Philadelphia 76ers. And there's a lot of factors there, but it's also a basketball decision and a basketball choice with East Coast benefits.
You mentioned about the relationship with Maxey. Why do you think that was not talked about enough? The fact that, not just because he's a clutch client, but the fact that those two have worked out together. Do you think that was something that was not looked at enough by people when they were looking at why LeBron was going to make the decision he was going to?
I just don't think people are as astute basketball minds as you and I, and they may have just overlooked it. I don't think it was intentional. I also think, if I'm not mistaken, that Nick Nurse is a clutch client also.
Yes, he is. Yep.
So there's a relationship there. Clutch is all over the map, and just people aren't necessarily as invested. Not only even the Mike Gansey side, like everybody talks about the high school connection in the state of Ohio, Mike Gansey being the number 2 player in the state and LeBron being number 1. But those two also were part of the 2016 architecture of the Cavaliers championship team. Basketball is a very small circle. And, even prior to, I'll tell you the Bob Myers part, LeBron doesn't have a close relationship with Bob Myers. Rich Paul does. And,
right.
And their relationship goes back to probably before Draymond Green being a member of the Golden State Warriors. Basketball is a very small circle. So when you're in the circle, you're in it. And I spoke to Rich Paul, LeBron James's agent, this morning while I was getting my morning workout, and he's ecstatic for this whole process. And one thing he wanted to verbalize is the fact that many people talked about Adam Silver being upset about the scheduling process of the NBA and the fact that LeBron didn't make a decision. And, I've said this on other shows. I share it here. Sometimes when someone says something and it goes viral, people think that this is imperative that he makes his decision. And Rich Paul shared with me this morning that Adam Silver actually reached out to Rich Paul and congratulated him on a good free agency signing. And he said Pat Riley actually reached out and congratulated him. And I shared with Rich that this whole process with LeBron picking a team reminded me so much of a hip hop album rollout in the early 2000s or early 90s. And we joked, and I said, listen, remember when somebody would get arrested or get shot right before their album release? He said, yeah. I said, this is what it sounded like. It sounded like a good old-fashioned album rollout to decide where his client, LeBron James, was going. And he made a decision that was a combination of basketball, family fit, something that he had to keep his family in the dark about, and even Rich about, from what Rich shared to me. So LeBron really had to take a step back and make some decisions. And that's why even the Joel Embiid part that I reported on quite a bit, he and Joel Embiid had a conversation just about Embiid's health and the long-term situation and his dedication to that team and how LeBron would fit within that nucleus.
So, hey, Brandon, Michael, So we were talking, and I said that there had to be a talk going on. Everybody always thought it was always Rich Paul talking. I said, if you don't think LeBron is reaching out to Joel Embiid one-on-one to say, give me the real scoop of how you feel, what do you think this next season is, all that kind of thing. I said, that's kind of stuff had to go down. They're players. And I'm glad it did go down, okay? Because my whole thinking moving forward now with the team that they have, it's strictly get to the playoffs and then perform, which we don't need LeBron every night. We don't need Joel Embiid, I don't think, every night kind of thing. And I think that in the beginning, what I'm hoping is that they just play them, get to know each other, feel comfortable. Okay, you have what I call the back spasm that you're out for the week kind of thing. Just take it easy. We want this team really confident going into like April and then be ready for the playoffs kind of thing. That's what I'm hoping for. And I was asking the guys earlier, the team that we have now, if I had to ask you, Brandon, who's the leader of this team right now after LeBron coming here? Who would I'm going to tell you who I think, and Josh will tell you who do you think is the leader of this team right now?
Tyrese Maxey.
Okay.
That's what I said earlier.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
And we had someone else say LeBron because he's LeBron. I just keep coming back that I don't know. Maybe you said about how close he is with Maxey. I just don't know if he would be here if it wasn't for Brown. Like, to me, I think it's Brown's team. And I think LeBron would pull him to the side and say, this is your team. I'm on here for a year. This is going to be your team moving forward. I just don't know if do you really think he would have came here without Brown?
LeBron James so I think this is how I can answer this question. LeBron James arriving to Philadelphia at this point in his career is very Kevin Garnett-like arriving in Boston. Kevin Garnett, when he was in Minnesota for much of his career, during the first stint, could play all 5 positions on the floor. At points, Flip Saunders played him at the point guard position. And ultimately, by natural position, he was a 3, a small forward. When Kevin Garnett came to the Boston Celtics, he shifted to the power forward position, and he was on a roster that included a young Rajon Rondo mixed with Paul Pierce and Ray Allen, and was coached by a Hall of Famer and Doc Rivers. Comparatively, LeBron James coming to the Philadelphia 76ers at this point in his career is a power forward by position with the ability to still command double teams, with the ability to extend the floor at his 6'8", 6'9" size, and has court vision and is the extension of the point guard on the floor, and in fact gives Tyrese Maxey more opportunity to be the natural scorer that he is, next to another natural scorer in Jaylen Brown. However, Jaylen Brown, by definition, is still a playmaker. If this situation works the way I think, the person who will benefit most is VJ Edgecombe, because he's a scorer that's scary. I don't even think he's met his quota yet. In fact, VJ Edgecombe having Paul George next to him in the starting lineup this past season, in the long run, will benefit him the same way that James Harden benefited Tyrese Maxey when he first got to Philadelphia.
Absolutely. NBA insider Brandon Scoop B. Robinson joining us here on Hanging with Hennig on 973 ESPN, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors at the Philly Ocean City 34th Street Bridge. Also, one of the things you've talked about all along the way is LeBron is somebody, and this is something you've told me, I've heard you on other platforms as well talk about. LeBron, he knows basketball, right? And he doesn't need us to tell him basketball. And I think what's interesting is something you've highlighted before I want to bring up again here for our audience on 97.3 ESPN. LeBron in Cleveland played with Kyrie. LeBron in Miami played with Dwayne Wade. LeBron in LA initially had Rajon Rondo and later was with Luka. Now he's with Maxey. What does this say to you that pretty much everywhere LeBron goes, he always has multiple ball handlers on the court? Because I think it seems very deliberate of LeBron to be like, hey, I can handle the ball, I can facilitate, but I want other facilitators, other ball handlers on the team as well.
Well, I think in answer to that question, I think a lot gets put into the fact that someone is a ball handler. Just because you're not bringing up the ball at times, but you're still getting hockey assists, doesn't mean that you're still not a team player, and maybe it doesn't always show up in a stat sheet. The greats know how to figure it out, and I think it's pretty fascinating that a pass-first point guard drafted first in the 2003 NBA draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers surpassed the NBA's all-time leading scorer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and is actually, if I'm not mistaken, definitely in the top 10 and league leaders at assists at the same time. Yep. And at this point, I actually believe that LeBron playing in Philadelphia will actually get him closer up to number one in the assists column all time because he has so many scorers on that team. So in answer to your question, what do I make of the fact that he's around playmakers? When you're secure in who you are on the court, that amplifies amongst the trust that you have amongst your other teammates. When you're secure in who you are, it doesn't matter who brings the ball up as long as the basket gets in, the ball goes in the basket and defense is played on the other end. I've seen people say it's kind of crazy that LeBron was the third, at this point would have been the third option on the Lakers team had he stayed, and then he becomes the third option in Philly. In fact, I think LeBron could actually be the fourth option on that Sixers team, which actually takes wear and tear off of him, and he doesn't have to be the savior. Early in his career, he played a lot of hero ball, and he kicked his butt. And if you think about it, Allen Iverson played a lot of hero ball in Philadelphia, and that didn't get them a championship. The last championship Philly has won is what, 1983?
Yep.
Okay. Imagine if Allen Iverson had those kind of guys on his roster.
Oh, Lord.
Brandon, do you think we're – I'm sorry. Do you think moving forward that we're not done, especially maybe like a veteran that we're not even thinking about that's on a team saying, hey, I wouldn't mind playing one more year with the Sixers now that have LeBron, like, and I'll come off the bench kind of thing. Well,
the Sixers are now clutch centrals. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is the likely target. He's got to figure out that situation with Memphis. I spent time in Memphis this season. It was abysmal because of all the Ja Morant stuff that was going on. It was legitimately West Coast hell. And so if he's able to get a buyout and or get traded to Philadelphia, they literally get a team that has their version of Danny Green coming off the bench, because you need any great championship team needs a shooter. And any team that LeBron has been on, you got shooters. You look at the bubble Lakers team, you had KCP, Danny Green, J.R. Smith. Sixers need some shooters to fill out that roster. So that's the answer to my question, to your question.
Do you think his son will come?
No.
No? Okay.
Well, I think that goes to the reporting out there that, and you can clarify this, that, he talked to his family before making this decision. You've reported numerous times that, he went to LA because Savannah wanted to go to LA. So this decision, was cleared by the family, right?
It was cleared by the family, but this decision was a lot different from what I'm told than the Lakers decision. The Lakers decision, from what I'm told, the inner circle was left in the dark. So Rich Paul, Randy Mims, I'm told, did not know what LeBron's decision was going to be. And even his daughter and his wife did not have a clear indication, although they knew who the suitors were and the pros and cons were weighed. But ultimately, LeBron made a basketball decision. He also made a location decision. And I also think this is worth noting. And having conversations with people in the know with the Golden State Warriors, many people felt that because there were so many billionaires that were on the minority board of the ownership group, that LeBron wanted to look at the business side of it and all that Northern California has to offer. Michael Rubin is probably one of the most connected people in sports and entertainment. He knows him well from Fanatics Fest and from many other functions outside of basketball. To me, this is the 2020s version of a player connecting to James Dolan's Rolodex playing for the New York Knicks. LeBron James is going to make it cool for other players now and in the future to play for the 76ers because they have a cool owner.
Exactly. And of course, for many years, Josh Harris has been viewed as this nerdy, geeky, off the beaten path guy, but yet, he's also a very, 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 very successful business owner, owning multiple sports franchises. So I would think that, the reporting was that, he and Josh Harris had a little conversation that was set up by Michael Rubin over the weekend.
Yeah. That conversation, I mean, they were having many conversations, and I don't think that the Fanatics Fest was necessarily the only conversation, but it's definitely a buffer when you have 4th of July weekend one weekend, and then you have Fanatics Fest, and you have a lot of players who are there. It was the perfect recruiting tool for Anthony Edwards to have conversations with LeBron, and the Minnesota portion of it. While I think they're a young team, I think they're a team that has a bright future. But from what I know, they just weren't on LeBron James's timeline in a way that Philadelphia was, in a way that the Warriors was. And even on the Warriors side, from what I know, LeBron lives in the state of California, but also has a residence in the state of Ohio. And the concern about his daughter and where she'd go to school and just being connected to his family in that regard. And the other two sons are seemingly out the house, one playing in the NBA, one in college. And all of those interworkings there were concerns that were being discussed. But ultimately, he's playing on a team that has championship chances in the Eastern Conference. But they still have to compete in an Eastern Conference where the reigning champions are still the New York Knicks. To be the champs, you got to beat the champs. And the Western Conference is getting tougher also.
All right, before I let you go, because you are also a curator of culture, you mentioned album rollouts earlier. Do you have a favorite hip hop album rollout from back in the day?
50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
Love it. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a 50 Cent guy, so I know you're a big Jay-Z guy, but I've always been a 50 guy. So
I like 50 also. I actually spent time with 50 at G-Unit headquarters at the old office in Manhattan, and it was cool. One of my colleagues who was a friend, Tahiri Jose, she's a video vixen and a model. I had met her in Manhattan for the day, and we went over to the office, and when we walked in the office, 50 was sitting in the hallway, or rather sitting in the lobby of G-Unit, and he sees Tahiri, he hugs her, and then he sees me. And I had on a blazer and a shirt and some jeans, and he goes, "What, you a lawyer or something?" I go, "No, I'm a journalist." He goes, "Oh, snap." He goes, "My fault. What's going on, man?" He stood up, shook my hand, and we took a picture, and we talked for a little bit just about the music business. And very, very much a gentleman. Was kind to me, and I learned some game from him just about business and more. So I have kind things to say about 50 Cent.
I like to hear that. Boy, you're always well dressed. You're always well put together, my friend. So I am not surprised that 50 Cent mistaked you for a different profession. That's for sure. At Scoop B on the X platform and on Instagram for not just all your basketball and NBA insight, but also all about insight on the culture as well. Scoop B Radio on YouTube for all of that as well. My friend, appreciate you making time today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care.
Hey, thank you. And also make sure to check out the Pull Up with Scoop B. Episode 3 drops on Thursday on YouTube. Legendary Slam Magazine writer Scoop Jackson. It's Scoop and Scoop.
Ooh.
Episode 3.
Oh, I like that.
Nice. Scoop B. Yes, sir.
I like that. That might be my new favorite. I'm looking forward to one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Listen, my friend, stay blessed. You're doing great work, okay?
Likewise.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Josh Hennig hanging with Hennig, broadcasting live on 97.3 ESPN. Great stuff there from NBA insider Brandon Scoop B. Robinson. I want to recap some of the stuff that he talked about as well as get to the messages that have been coming in. Ray from EHT, Angie from Tucker, your messages and more coming up other side. Keep them coming in. 609-403-0973. And, of course, 2 o'clock hour is being brought to you by the law offices of Craig A. Altman. Listen. We see it all the time. Car accidents. People get slip and falls at work. You can't trust the insurance companies to have your back. They have a game plan. It's called delay, deny, and pay as little as possible. So the question is, who is on your side? Well, the law offices of Craig A. Altman are located right here in South Jersey. And the great thing about them is because they're here in South Jersey, they're not one of these big national law firms that's going to pawn you off on somebody else to take care of your case. Now, they're going to take care of you and your case right here in South Jersey. They serve all of South Jersey. Give them a call at 856-327-8899, or you get a free consultation at craigaltmanlaw.com. Remember, if you're in a car accident, slip and fall at work, whatever your situation is, let the injury lawyers who are going to have your best interest at heart have your back when dealing with your case. And they are a proud sponsor of Philadelphia sports coverage right here on 97.3 ESPN. As the law office of the Craig A. Altman sponsoring the 2 o'clock hour of Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM. The 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle City. And we are streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig. Coming up on the other side, we'll hear from you guys, your thoughts on LeBron James and the Sixers, the Eagles reporting for training camp in days, and more as we broadcast live from Boulevard Super Liquors. You have a few more minutes to meet Hollis Thomas, former Eagles player, as well as your chance to win a Jalen Hurts signed jersey. But you got to come on down to Boulevard Super Liquors to stock up for the weekend. Christmas in July, Night in Venice weekend. Whatever you're celebrating, come on down to Boulevard Super Liquors. They're my go-to at the Jersey Shore for everything you need, from craft beer, wine, spirits, tequila, and of course, Bird Gang Spirits is presenting sponsor for today's broadcast right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio. It's an Interleague primetime showdown.
Ben Rice, a 2-run shot.
Ben Rice leads the New York Yankees into Philadelphia to go head-to-head with Kyle Schwarber and the Phillies.
Kyle Schwarber. And this place is going bananas.
The Yankees and Phillies on Sunday Night Baseball.
It's Phillies baseball on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 6:30.
Whether you are stocking up for a summer party, a day at the beach, or that golden hour dinner at your favorite BYOB restaurant, your one-stop shopping destination where I go for every occasion is Boulevard Super Liquors. At the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge, Boulevard Super Liquors has the best selection of craft beer, whiskey, vodka, wines, and tequila in all of South Jersey. Plus, they are minutes from Garden State Parkway, exit 25, so you can easily stop into Boulevard Super Liquors on your travels all around South Jersey. Family owned and operated for 4 generations, Boulevard Super Liquors also has the largest temperature-controlled wine room in New Jersey, offering you the best selection of wines for your next dinner date or social outing. These are just some of the reasons why Boulevard Super Liquors is my go-to. On Roosevelt Boulevard, at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge, the best selection of beer and spirits in South Jersey.
Making your home look brand new is what Work of Art Construction can do for you. Ready to remodel your bathroom or have a kitchen makeover? Art Masker has 40 years of experience in construction and knows how to make your home look like a work of art. Want to install a new back deck or invest in a new front door? Just call Art Masker at 609-788-4271 to learn more. Visit Work of Art Construction on Instagram to see how Work of Art Construction can make your home look brand new. Beautify your home with Work of Art. Call him at 609-788-4271 and let them make your home truly a work of art.
Bridgeton Auto Mall is celebrating America's 250th anniversary by giving back to our community in a big way. Now through July 31st, you could win your share of $25,000 in cash. Buy a new or pre-owned vehicle, and you'll be entered for a chance to win $20,000. Visit our service department for maintenance or repairs. You'll be entered to win $5,000. Join us for our grand drawing event on Saturday, August 1st with live music, barbecue, family fun, and your chance to win big.
No purchase necessary. See dealer for complete details. Visit BridgetonAutomall.com.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Tails piled high with friends and family, spirits to the sky.
For fun times in the Pines, you gotta make the trip to the Pick. Stop in for Trivia Mondays, Game Show Palooza Tuesdays, or their legendary all-you-can-eat wing night Wednesdays from 5 to 9. The original Piccalilli Inn, Route 206, Chemung, New Jersey. Follow the Pick on Facebook or visit piccalilli.com.
Fishing season's here. Get everything you need at the Bait and Tackle Shop at Utch's Marina in historic Cape May. Come to Utch's for a huge selection of spinning and conventional rods and combos for the boat or the surf, with top brands available like Penn, Tsunami, Ocean Max, Shimano, and more. Utch's Marina has all your fishing needs. Live bait, frozen bait, rods, reels, and lures too. Prepare for your next fishing experience. Come see us today at the Bait and Tackle Shop at Utch's Marina, located at the foot of the bridge in Cape May.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
When it comes to injuries, you can't afford to get it wrong. Insurance companies, they delay, deny, and pay as little as possible. Who's on your side? The law offices of Greg A. Altman. Car accidents, slip and falls, serious workplace injuries. They build cases to put real pressure on the other side. And you pay nothing unless they win. Don't guess, don't wing it. Call 856-327-8899 or visit GregAltmanLaw.com. Local office in Vineland, backed by a Philly firm that knows how to win.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I want my picks back. I want David Putnam.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
All my picks back, and I want David Putnam just because I feel like it.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, I am. Haven't I proved that already?
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Definitely championship or bust, man. I mean, that's the added piece, you know what I mean, that we needed. Obviously, you put him on any team, to me, you know what I mean, you definitely have a chance. But obviously, a whole lot of things got to go right, you know what I mean, during the season. Definitely health. But as far as, you know, the leadership, the talent, you know what I mean, the wars that he's been in, and, you know, him being familiar with, you know, every type of situation that happens on a basketball court, he just boosts the percentage of any team having a chance to win a championship.
That was the one and only Allen Iverson. He was on the Stephen A. Smith Show on Sirius XM Radio. Josh Hennig back here and hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors. Of course, we've been hanging out all day thanks to Boulevard Super Liquors and Bird Gang Spirits for Night in Venice weekend, as well as Christmas in July, and we're all just celebrating LeBron James coming to Philadelphia. And Hanging with Hennig being brought to you by Cross County Connection, presenting 6 new SJ Connect shuttles, providing fare free transportation across Southern New Jersey, connected jobs, colleges, healthcare, shopping, government services, and NJ Transit hubs, all at no cost to riders. For details, call 856-229-7571 or visit driveless.com. Mike Carlin back here with me over at Boulevard Super Liquors on Roosevelt Boulevard at the foot of the Ocean City 34th Street Bridge. Mike, before we get to the text and the messages coming in at 609-403-0973, I wanted to ask you because, you know, Scoop kind of parroted the same opinion I had about Maxey, you know, being Maxey's team. So, you know, like for you, do you feel like your mind changed a bit because of what he said, or do you feel like, you know, the Jaylen Brown element still needs to be talked about more?
I think Jones got to be talked about. It could be Maxey's team. Again, we're just telling what we think it is. I just don't think LeBron comes here just for Maxey.
Sure, I agree with that,
and I think his relationship with Brown and knows what kind of player Brown is, knows how young he is. Brown's not going nowhere.
Right.
LeBron's here for a year. Maxi's not going. But Brown has proven to himself and has shown LeBron throughout the last couple of years how good of a guy he is.
Sure.
Not just on the court, but off the court. And that's why, in my mind, I think he came because Sixers weren't, again, I got to come back to, Sixers weren't even in the talk of LeBron coming. Okay. It was Miami. It was Golden State, and all these, what I call other cities.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden we get Brown, and within 48 hours, all of a sudden the Sixers are in the talk now. Why did that happen? Because of Brown. I think he realized now there's a team that they're missing what I think is my piece that I can really help this team get over the hump.
Yeah, and to your point, that's a point that was confirmed by Shams Charania yesterday in his appearance when the breaking news happened, LeBron James choosing the 76ers.
Philadelphia, I'm telling you, was not even on this radar, was not in the pool of candidates until Mike Ganji and Bob Myers went out and got Jalen Brown. That changed the equation. The Sixers got on the map. And from there, it became for LeBron James now almost 4 weeks of deliberation with LeBron James, Rich Paul, that inner circle there, and his family eventually. But trying to figure out what is the decision going to be based on.
And I think the part that stands out to me is, while I agree with you, the fact that it was 4 weeks. It wasn't like LeBron said Jalen Brown went there automatically going there.
Correct.
LeBron still went through his all of his evaluating and all of his conversations. Scoopy said, other people have said it as well. Brian Windhorst reported it, that LeBron kept calling Embiid. He kept calling it and be like, we need to talk. Like, if I'm going to do this, I need more information.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important part of this conversation, which is, it's not like LeBron flippantly, like, for example, it took him basically a day to decide to go to the Lakers. He made the decision way ahead of time. When he went to Miami, it took him about 9 days, right? When he went back to Cleveland, it took him a couple days. This was a very long process. So while I agree with you, and as Sham said, that he came to Philadelphia in part because Jalen Brown was here, but he didn't jump on the first flight out to Philadelphia because Jalen Brown was here. You know what I mean? I think that's where I'm kind of like, I think that Brown got, how do I put it this way? Brown got the Sixers in the room, but the guy who maybe sealed the deal was maybe Maxey. You know what I mean?
Could be, yeah. And they're close. He works out with them. I think when you really look at the big package, we never saw this coming. But when you really put 2 and 2 together, it does equal 4. And what I mean by that is, when LeBron really took a step back and said, I want to go to the East, okay? And this is the team that can come out of the East. And this is a team where I'm not asking, hey, get rid of this player before I come for money reasons, all that. There was no money reasons to have to worry about anything. He saw the team they had 1 through 5 and the bench. What kind of bench? The leadership of in-house leadership, from the owner all the way down.
Right.
It just made a nice fit. And we're lucky enough to get him.
Over in the text board at 609-403-0973. Ray in EHT commented a little bit earlier in the show. I want to get to his text here. He says, I want to first say, first and foremost, I'm not a big LeBron James fan. Maybe that's because he was never on the Sixers before. I don't know. He says, I'm waiting to see when the Jalen Brown jersey comes available because I want to get one with them because I know the LeBron James jersey is going to sell out quickly. Ray in EHT goes on to say, Sixers have a really good chance for the next 2 years to get a championship. And I'm not a big LeBron fan. I don't even think he's as good as some people think he is because he's older. But the gravity that he draws with a defense is going to give everybody on this team way more opportunities to be successful on the court. I think that's a big point of it. And you mentioned it earlier with Scoop B, and that is LeBron is just he's like a vortex. He's a vortex of attention. And now every team you play on a night and out basis, they're going to be so focused on LeBron that it's going to help Jalen Brown. It's going to help Tyrese Maxey. It's going to help VJ Edgecombe. It's going to help Joel Embiid. And it's help the guys off the bench. When those guys how many times did you see LeBron in LA play with almost an entire bench lineup?
Yeah, how we started the show. He doesn't just we were talking about the city and all that. He doesn't just make the starting 5 better. He makes the team better at practice. Just sitting one-on-one with a guy, maybe for 10, 15 minutes. Hey, I've seen your game. It's really good. Yeah, these are some of the things I'd be working on. you never know the knowledge that he's giving the players, and it's players that we don't even talk about. Like I said, the G League guys that play for the Philly. He is just going to be a wealth of information to lean on and to know this is what it takes to not just play in the NBA, but do you want to stay in the NBA or do you want to be here for 4 or 5 years?
And I think the other thing is, so you mentioned about the guys who are on the team. You asked Scoop B about who else could become. And he mentioned Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I do want to clarify this really quick. So Bobby Marks of ESPN used to work in the Nets front office for 20 years. He explained it last night on ESPN that in order for KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, to come to Philadelphia, the Sixers have to open up a roster spot. And the reason why I want to explain this really quick is because the Sixers can't add anyone else until they do this for 2 reasons. One, they are now hard capped. The Jalen Brown trade, along with the signing of Dean Wade
from Cleveland.
Yes, those 2 moves hard cap the Sixers. They have no more flexibility. So in order for them to add another player like a KCP, they either have to trade for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope or they have to release someone. Now it could be anyone. It could be Dominic Barlow. It doesn't matter. But the point is that so there's to your point you were asking Scoop B earlier. I want to emphasize that you were on the right path. But I want to explain to the audience other moves had to be made to get those moves. Yeah. And I know to some people they may roll their eyes at this, but there's a lot of conjecture online right now about who's coming and who's going. I don't think there's a moment where Mike Gansey and Bob Myers didn't think that they were going to have to make other moves. Because remember, there was a lot of reporting out there from Brandon Scoopy Robinson to Chris Haynes of Yahoo Sports to Brian Windhorst of ESPN. They would all have come out and said, Mike, that teams were waiting on LeBron to make a decision before they made their next move.
Correct.
So there's a lot of people
of the pieces that you're talking about going around them and the money. It's
not just him, but the rest of the league.
Right.
James Harden hasn't re-signed with Cleveland yet.
Now he can't.
Well, now he can, right? Because you had to wait for LeBron to make his decision. Draymond Green was waiting to sign with Golden State till LeBron made his decision. There's a lot of moving pieces out there still.
Of all the things of today that really got me shocked, and I didn't have a word to say when we had Brandon Scoop on.
Yeah.
And I asked him, what do you think about his son coming? He didn't hesitate. Right away he goes, no, not coming.
And maybe that was part of the family conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of the conversation.
Like, Dad, I don't want to follow you to Philly. I want to try to do this on my own.
Right,
maybe that's what it is.
Or maybe LeBron asked him, do you want to follow me or do you want to stay here? Maybe he said, I want to stay here, Dad.
But I just thought for sure he'd come. I just don't. And this is, again, just me. I don't think he's a true NBA player moving forward. And I would try to get as many years as I can. If I can play with my dad, I'm playing with my dad.
Sure. I hear you.
I'm in LA now, and everybody's going to be like, oh, you're only here because your dad was here. Well, I don't know how much time he's going to actually play in LA. I'd rather sit on the bench with the Sixers and be with my dad.
Oh, I love how Rainy H, she says, by the way, I'm also a big 50 Cent fan too. I love the City mixtape by Green Lantern before he even had any albums. That's a long way. That's like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It's always funny when you get people listening who have the same It's always fun when people like Rainy see others will text you like, oh, I know you're talking about. I love that stuff. More text coming in at 609-403-0973. An anonymous texter chimed in, so we'll take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
The anonymous texter says, other teams' main concern definitely defensively isn't going to be LeBron. Other teams didn't do that with the Lakers. Come on, man. Well, first of all, you don't watch basketball.
What did he say? Yeah.
He said other teams' main concern defensively isn't going to be LeBron. Other teams didn't do it with the Lakers. First of all, you don't watch basketball. So if you watch the Lakers games, which obviously this anonymous texter doesn't watch Lakers games or basketball in general.
And it's hard to do being on the West Coast.
Okay, fine. Yeah. But if you know how to stuff, if you want to do something, you
I'm
make
trying to be
time
nice
for
to this guy.
Well, I'm not going to. You be the nice cop. I'll be bad cop. Okay. Anonymous texter. Here's the deal. This is why you're an anonymous texter of the show. Okay. When LeBron James would bring the ball up the court, the defense would go from spread formation and they would shrink down to the lane because defenses know that if you give LeBron a lane to drive, he's going to dunk on your face. Okay. So what happens is LeBron would push the ball up the court. If you gave him too much space in the middle, he'd drive to the middle and kick it out. Or if you gave him not enough space in the middle, he would work around the edge and let his teammates find other openings. The reason why Austin Reeves flourished next to LeBron or Alex Caruso before him or other players is because LeBron was such a vortex of attention. So yes, in the most literal sense, nobody is laying up at night being like, oh, how am I going to stop LeBron? No, the idea is when the game is happening and LeBron is coming up the court at full speed. You know, the Sixers now have 3 of the top 10 fast break players in the NBA.
And now they have one of the best guys to give him the ball on the fast break.
No, I'm saying LeBron's one of them.
He's one of them, but he could also dish.
LeBron is one of the 3 players who ran the fast break the most in the NBA last year. So what happens when you run the fast break, Mike? You're making split-second decisions. And what do a lot of guys do? They don't want to peel off of LeBron because they know he can dunk on your face. So guys will gravitate, and now he's throwing it to Maxey. He's throwing it to VJ. So that's why you're an anonymous texter. You're obviously not a basketball fan. Good for you. Good for you being anonymous. Q from Galloway says, LeBron is a Cowboys fan. Who cares? Who cares if he's a Cowboys fan? If he comes to Philadelphia and wins you a championship, why do we care what team he's a fan of?
I'll only care if when the Cowboys come and he's up in Jerry Jones's box. They don't have a problem.
You know what Jalen Hurts is? He's a Houston Astros fan. Yeah. He still won you a championship. Does anybody care?
No.
Nope. Exactly. Phil from Brigantine chimes says, now Dean Wade can come off the bench, which is huge for the Sixers. That's a good point there, actually.
Yeah.
Dean Wade is a huge guy.
Great points.
Off the bench. Another texter chimed in, 69403 says, I think you guys are giving LeBron too much credit. His gravity isn't the same as it used to be. Honestly, I think LeBron would be better off the bench playing with the starters and some bench guys. If you start Maxey, VJ, Brown, Bron, and Embiid, there's only one ball. Well, again, I think you're overlooking the fact that LeBron is a distributor. LeBron is not coming to Philadelphia to be the scorer. He's coming to Philadelphia to distribute the ball. I think that's what's getting overlooked here a little bit here, Mike.
He's a starter on any guys. He could go play for San Antonio or Oklahoma. He'd start for them. He's not coming off the bench. Okay, he's still one of the top players in the league right this second. And if his points are down a little bit, he's still one of the best passers in the league. I'll put him up against any point guards passing.
And listen, can I just say this? This is why I get exasperated sometimes here on 97.3 ESPN, because I love having these conversations, but I hate being put into the position to stick up for or defend a player that I am not a LeBron fan. Do you know who my favorite player in the NBA is? Giannis. I'm a huge Giannis guy.
Great player.
You know what my favorite Sixer is? It's not Embiid. It's Maxey. Okay? I like guys who have energy, who play with this joy and passionate energy. LeBron is a little bit too polished sometimes for my liking. I still think he's one of the greatest players of all time. If you don't think he's number one, he's at least in the top 3.
He's 2.
But I don't have to be a LeBron fan to see what he is. And listen, whether you like LeBron or not, okay, whether you don't like his politics, whether you don't like him, listen, for me and people of my age, LeBron was in high school the same time I was in high school. And for me, I have always appreciated his talent and appreciated his ability without being a fan of his. That makes sense?
It absolutely makes sense. And I've heard a lot of interviews from past players that played with LeBron that didn't even get on the court with LeBron, but they were on the same team as LeBron. There's never one player that says he didn't make me better.
Right.
He makes everyone better. So anybody to think that this is not a good match is just doesn't know basketball. You don't understand.
By the way, shout out to Jeff in Ocean City who wrote that. Clap your hands, everybody, for Philadelphia 76ers on the YouTube stream. Angie watching as well on the YouTube chimes in. Still rocking a Maxey jersey all season, but I love seeing the championship pieces come together. This is fantastic for the Sixers. So, listen, I think
he's great. I love Maxey.
I think there's more positive people about LeBron coming to Philadelphia than others. I feel like the people who are negative about him, they're the same people
you don't like him.
Well, it's either that or they're the same people who, if you hand them a bag of money, they'll tell you it's too heavy.
They just don't like him, or they're Miami Heat fans or Cleveland Cavalier fans. And now they really hate him because guess what? They were going to love him when he was on their team. Now they didn't get him. Oh, yeah, I don't like him.
Yeah, it's so true.
Okay.
He's Mike Carlin. I'm Josh Hennig. We're broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors here for Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ES. We want to say a shout out to Bird Gang Spirits. An amazing job coming out here, having Hollis Thomas join us here on the show. Coming out here, they're giving away a Jalen Hurts signed jersey. So if you sign up for the contest and you won, Ted for Bird Gang Spirits is going to follow up with you and make sure you get your prize from Bird Gang Spirits. So thanks to them for helping be a part of our broadcast here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. You know, Mike, speaking of the Sixers, if you're looking for a place to watch opening night when this LeBron debuts for the Sixers, or you're looking for a place to watch the Phillies game, you know, not everyone is coming tonight in Venice. Some people are not going to come to Ocean City at all. So you're looking for a place to go out and watch the Phillies game this weekend. You want to go visit my friends at Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street, the best wings on 7 Mile Island. And they have 36 brand new 4K TVs. They remodeled the whole bar this offseason. It looks absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorite places to watch the Phillies, to watch the Eagles, watch the Sixers, or the Flyers. The Flyers can get forgotten about right now, but it's LeBron James. How can you not? And, of course, again, Stone Harbor Bar and Grill, the best wings on the island, amazing food, and they got all local beers on tap. Again, Stone Harbor Bar and Grill, they're my go-to spot to watch all the games. That's why I recommend them here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN.
The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street is Stone Harbor's most complete entertainment experience. Great food, fun, and libations, and newly remodeled for 2026. The same great owners and all your favorite menu items remain, and now we've taken things up a notch with a brand new bar, new sound system, 36 brand new 4K TVs, and more. No matter where you sit, you always have a perfect sight line to the big game, and you've got to try our mouth-watering new menu items. Start your meal with blackened scallops, homemade fried pickles, or a cheeseburger flatbread. Try our new Chicago-style dog, or the Mary Ann sandwich, a chicken cutlet, broccoli rabe, and sharp provolone on world-famous Rando's Bakery Atlantic City bread. The Stone Harbor Bar and Grill sources only the top ingredients and serves up the best quality food. Voted best wings of Stone Harbor and the Jersey Shore by Lord of the Wings. Prime rib nights Friday and Saturdays, rib nights on Sundays, and Mike the Magician Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The newly remodeled Stone Harbor Bar and Grill on 96th Street in the heart of Stone Harbor. Open 11:30 a.m. till midnight, 7 days a week. Go to stoneharborbarandgrill.com or call 609-961-3534 for more.
It's Christmas in July at Storybook Land this Saturday and Sunday. Celebrating family fun since 1955. Storybook Land is more than just rides. It's an atmosphere. They bring classic childhood stories to life with creative displays throughout the park. Visit Santa and Mrs. Claus and get a taste of the holiday spirit for Christmas in July this Saturday and Sunday from noon to 4.
Create your own story at Storybook Land.
Bring the whole family and create your own story at Storybook Land.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Is your trading stopping you from shopping? It's time to drop in some Matt Black Nissan.
Don't freak out about your old car. Trade out. In celebration of 250 years of freedom, Matt Black Nissan and Matt Black Infinity will free you from your old car and pay you up to $4,000 over Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade value for your old car. High mileage, cosmetic issues, all trade-ins are welcome. New 26 Matt Black Nissan Altima SV, just $99 per month. New 26 Matt Black Nissan Rogue SV, just $179 per month. Plus, the all-new Infinity QX65 luxury crossover SUV is here, and you have to drive it to believe it. Bad credit? Don't sweat it. Our lenders can get almost anyone approved. Come see us today and get up to $4,000 more than your trade is worth at Matt Black Nissan and Matt Black Infinity. A LeBlanc Black Horse, Pike, and Egg Harbor Township. It's time to drop in some Matt Black Nissan.
39 month lease on Altima, 36 month lease on road, 7727 due to signing, subject to lender approval. Call 877-289-6670 for details. Next trade toward the purchase of select models. Offers don't combine, expires month end.
Filling marble and tile, transforming spaces into beautiful places.
Hey, it's Joe Kelly. Filling Marble and Tile Retail Outlet in South Jersey is a premier family-owned stone dealer and installation expert. Residences, businesses, hospitals, schools, Atlantic City casinos, and more have trusted Filling Marble for quality marble, granite, and tile. Stop by today.
Filling marble and tile, transforming spaces into beautiful places.
See them online at fillingmarble.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Ventnor Social is Down Beach's go-to spot for game days, happy hours, beach nights, live music, great food, cold drinks, and being social. Catch all the live sports action on 20 big screen TVs or kick back on the rooftop deck. Join us Wednesday, July 29th from 2 to 6 as the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN. Broadcasts live during a Phillies watch party. It's your last chance to register to win a pair of Phillies tickets and a bus trip to Camden Yards for the July 31st game. Ventnor Social on Ventnor Avenue in Ventnor. Follow them on Facebook for specials and events.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
People will come, Ray.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
People will most definitely come.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig back here and hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Wrap up the show, broadcasting live from Boulevard Super Liquors. We got a couple more texts to get to at 609-403-097. By the way, shout out to Vince back in the 97.3 ESPN studio, doing a great job producing and board opping. We'll get to Vince in just a moment. We're going to get Vince's thoughts before we wrap up the show really quick on his thoughts on LeBron. Let's get to Johnny G in Ocean City. He says, hey, Josh, I love Hollis Thomas. Now I love LeBron coming to the Sixers. Go Birds. He said, I just honked at you as I passed Boulevard Super Liquors. You always got to love that stuff. Couple more texts coming in. Texter says, you guys only talk about one side of the ball. LeBron is not playing consistent defense, is not a great rebounder or a rim protector, and he's going to be playing power forward. First of all, power forward in today's NBA is not what it used to be. Okay. Right. Today's power forward functions a lot more like the Detroit Pistons, where they had Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace and all those guys. Now, I will say, you're right. LeBron's not a rim protector. He's not some elite rebounder. And I've said numerous times on 97.3 ESPN, anonymous texter who apparently doesn't listen, I have said numerous times, the Sixers still need more rebounding. I've said that before. I'll say it again. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. But you don't say no to LeBron because you need more rebounding. You say yes to LeBron, and then you go find the rebounding. I think the question is, do we believe that Joel is healthy enough to be an anchor point as a rim protector still? If the answer is yes, cool. If the answer is no, then you're going to still find that guy. But in today's NBA, defense is only played in the postseason anyway, so I'm not too worried about LeBron's prowess or lack thereof as a rebounder or a rim protector, Mike.
I'm not either. And I think it's going to come down to the talk that LeBron had with Joel Embiid to be like, I don't know how many times I'm going to be seeing you out at the three-point shooting three-pointers.
Yeah.
Okay. We may, with this team, he's going to say, this is my thinking. We need you to be more of a true center. A true center is.
We need you to be an anchor point.
Yeah, I need you because guess what? Look around. We're going to need you to rebound. Okay, we got a lot of shooters here, and on defense, I need someone that I can't be up by the rim protecting it. Brown can't be up there. Okay, right. You're our center. This is what we're going to need from you moving forward. His game's got to change, I guess, is my point.
And I think that, I'm not saying it's literally going to be this, but to me, there are some parallels between Embiid with the Sixers now and when Bill Walton went to the Celtics, where it's like, hey, Bill, we're not asking you to run the team. We're asking you to be a part of the bigger picture. And what did Walton do? He focused on rebounding. He focused on defense. He focused on passing. And the Celtics won a couple championships because of it. So
Yeah, it's like when Shaq. Remember when Shaq, at the end of his career, he wasn't the same person.
no, not at all.
This is not LeBron. LeBron's not that person.
Vince back in the 97.3 ESPN studios. Why don't you jump on that video real quick? We'll get the final word from Vince on LeBron coming to the Sixers. Vince, you've been gathering all the reactions throughout the day. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, when I see LeBron coming to the Sixers, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are thinking that, you bring in LeBron, he's going to be a leadership point, right? There's a lot of people saying, he's not in his prime anymore. You're not getting what I should say, in other words, you're not going to be getting an all-star type player out of him. And we know he's not in his prime anymore, but I'm not saying that he's not going to be a factor, right? LeBron, when I see him coming here, I think he's someone that's going to help out VJ. He's going to be someone that helps out Maxey, right? We know he's coming. Jaylen Brown's a big reason why he's here, but I really see him being a support piece for these guys. I think he's going to be a huge anchor. I really do. They'll use him when they need him. They're going to use him where they need him. I don't know. I think the Sixers got something going here at the top. One of the best starting five in NBA history right here.
Vince, great stuff back there, the 97.3 ESPN studios. Thanks for coming in to help us out today. Thank you, Mike Carlin, for joining me here on location. It's always fun to chop it up with you. We don't agree on everything. It's okay.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
That's the whole point. I appreciate all the texts, even you anonymous texters who are texting weird stuff on the 609-403-0973. Thanks to Dave Bale, Sr. and Jr. for allowing us to be here at Boulevard Super Liquors. Thanks, Ted, for Bird Gang Experience. Thanks to Hollis Thomas, the Scoop B, and Coach Steph Gaitley for joining us here. And thank you all for listening on 97.3 ESPN. Josh Hennig says, have a great weekend, everybody.
Sunday morning in the locker with Billy Schwein, producer Alex Berardis, and Aaron